Thank you so much for joining us here at 12 or so. Here in the beautiful, beautiful new day that we are creating together. So, here on this beach, we are here to cleanse our souls and to reawaken ourselves in body with our bodies. So, I hope you're prepared to do a few movements with me. I want to bring you in body and start to awaken your connection with your energetic body as well. And let's just have fun with it. Let's connect heaven and earth here today and prepare ourselves for that 20 or that 1221 portal where we can really anchor in our fabulousness. Okay, anyway. So we're going to start off with some sun salutations and then end with a little meditation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask at the end. Anyway, okay. So I'd like to start by opening my heart and taking a deep breath in. Allow your chest to fill, coming in from heaven down to earth. And then I want you to breathe out and pull that energy up from the earth to your center, to your heart. And out again. In and out. Pull, pull, pull. Squeezing your lower abdominals as well as your pelvic floor muscles. And breathe in. Spreading that heart, elongating your spine. And out. Pulling in, strengthening, and squeezing those muscles. And in, and I want you to stretch back as far as you can. Into a backward bend. Back into the heart space. And down. And we're just breathing in, touching back, allowing that energy to shift down, and we're going to reach to our feet. Take a deep breath here. And I want you to jog your knees back and forth. Can you see me? Let's change that angle. All right. We're going to toggle our knees back and forth. Feel free to put your hands on your thighs if you need to. Like to touch the ground. And we're going to reach up, tuck our boot back in, laugh it off. Stretching back and forth, allowing my sides to open. Forward. Take a breath in, straighten the spine. Back down. We're going to go into a forward lunge with the right leg. Step back with the left. And just bounce in place here. Getting your legs a little warm and a little stretched up. And then go ahead and turn out. Lifting up your whole right arm. I cannot, but you do it. Back in, and we're going to do this 2 more times. This last one. Take a deep breath in here. And release. We're going to go into plank here. And hold in on our knees. Into child's pose. You can put your head on the ground. Stretch your arms out. And go into full plank here. And lean forward into forward dog. Kind of wiggle your tail. Let your spine loosen up. If this is too difficult for you, be on your forearms. Your head 3 to the right, 3 to the left, and step back into child's pose. I practiced, I promise. This didn't happen. And step forward with your left leg. Go ahead and bounce back and forth. And then go ahead and we're going to pull our arms up towards the sky. And again. Okay, yes. Take a deep breath here and pull your other leg forward. It should be deeper in this stretch now. You've warmed up. Ooh. Tabletop. And then down, go a little deeper. Bend your knees back. And go ahead and lift up into a back bend. Hands back to your heart. And gathering up from the earth. Now we're going to do one single set. Again, we're going to do one more set. This time a little bit faster. And we won't do each repetition 3 times. We'll do it 1 time. Okay? So here we go. Breathe out. And in. Stretch back. Stretch forward. Tabletop. Step. Forward. Oh my. Slide yourself up. To the back bend. Left. Whew. That feels really good. I can feel us all clicking in together. Okay, we're going to do it one more time, and then we're going to prepare for our meditation, okay? This time, I would like you to have a little smile, and if you close your eyes, I'd like you to kind of gaze up towards your third eye and let the sun pierce into your third eye and help awaken and enliven you. That was really beautiful. All those bends, all that twisting, opening up to spirit and the universe. Here we are. Now come meet me here. Meet me here in meditation. Take a seat, take a breath. Not even being in the sun, this always tends to warm me up and allows my spine to have some space and relax. And I hope that gives you a little bit more awareness of your body, awareness of the time that you are given the precious gift of this meat suit. So, everyone, just take a deep breath in. I'm sitting in a nice little lotus position here. I'll scoot back so you can see all of me. Okay. Now, I'd like to have my left hand up to receive and my palm down because I will be manifesting here on earth. I'd like to take a deep breath in. Feel my body, feel the space, not judge it, just observe. Where do I feel stiffness? Even though I warmed up, where do I feel tightness? Is anything popping? Is there any pain? Is there any pleasure or freedom, space? What have I been neglecting and now choosing to acknowledge? And it's all okay. It's all safe here. I feel like I was calling in the center. I feel like calling in the heaven through the third eye, through the crown chakra. So first I'm going to set up my protection energy. And with the blink of an eye, with the moment of the breath, the bubble appears. It's always been, but as I acknowledge it, it strengthens. And within this bubble, I am safe and contained. I am allowed to be the I am that I am here to be. Allow yourself to connect with that energy. Just keep breathing in, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And as you breathe in, you're breathing in the light of cosmic energy, and out, you're breathing all that holds you back. In, you're breathing freedom. Out, you're breathing the ignorance or the fear of change. In, you're breathing the wind of beauty, the wind of change. Out, you're breathing old patterns, old paradigms. In, grace. Out. And then place your hands. I'm placing my hands on top of each other. Left on top of right. The right is more of the alpha, the support. The yin, or the yang. The yin is on top, the more omega energy, the more receptive energy. So as we place this here at our solar plexus, we give ourselves permission to know that we are not only supported, but we are able to receive. We're able to understand ourselves on another level. We are able to open to the grace of our own being. We will hear what resonates with us and find beauty. And what does not resonate with us, we will allow it to be and allow it to pass. Kind of move your jaws, everyone. Open that space. I feel a lot of ear popping. I feel a lot of recognition of the self. A lot of recognition of this space and time. Non-judgment, non-attachment. I want you to rub your hands together. Just allow your hands to wake up, your hand chakras that come in your palms. I want you to rub them together. I'm going to clap. That kind of dusts some of the old stuff off there. Oh yeah, here we go. I feel our healers turning on. Here we go. I want you to breathe in, accepting energy not only from the earth from your feet, but the heavens through your crown. Just breathe in and allow that to start to come through your central column. Squeeze your pelvic muscles, pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze, like kind of relax your eyebrows. Tap here if you're feeling some tightness. You can also massage your eyebrows, to release that tension because we want to receive what the universe has to offer us. Now, yeah. Ooh, somebody's got a lot of negative self-talk coming through. It's okay to feel this. It's okay to be present with this moment. It's all right. It is not. It's not blasphemous to know your energy bodies. This is just awakening you to more perspective. What you grew up learning and understanding may not necessarily have been in your proper vibration, but it was there for the prior generations to survive. So you are the gatekeeper. You are the changers of your family. What is this? Okay. So what's coming out? I feel a lot of just resistance. I feel a lot of all of these things coming to a head, and that's okay. Just acknowledge that you are in resistance, and it's fine to resist because one day you'll know how to let go. As of now, just observe. Okay? Deep breath. Let out a sigh. The sigh, the audible sigh, allows your body to relax and allows the vibration to open up and change and shift. Let's do one more together, okay? Now, our hand chakras. Let's go ahead and allow the energy from the earth to flow up through our central column, squeezing our lower abdominals and our pelvic floor muscles. And then as we breathe in, we pull up. And it goes through our heart center, through all of our chakras, through our heart center, through our arms, through our wrists, and to our hands. At the same time, as we breathe out, like a vacuum, it pulls from the deep center of the universe, through our crown chakra, our third eye, our throat, into our, through all of the subtle, I'm like the well of dreams, and somebody starts laughing. The well of dreams, the high heart, just allow things to go through the thalamus and then meet at the heart. Both these energies, they go through the shoulders, the wrists, the elbows, the wrists, into the hands. So as we breathe, we're gathering energy from that which is around us. And it pulls through our wrists and through our hand chakras and starts to build an energy ball in between. And as you build this energy ball starts to spin and become stronger and stronger. You can feel the heat rising out and between your hands, this glowing orb of golden light. This golden light becomes stronger and stronger. This orb is so strong that you can't contain it, and your hands are forced apart through the energy of that which is this chi that comes to you from the universe, that manifests itself through you, is here in between your palms, giving you the space to heal, light, and love. This ball, I want you to take it and run it over your crown. Feel it as it goes through your crown and your third eye and starts to heal and clean out all the debris. You have this power within you. You will have this power. Let it lower down the throat. Those of you who haven't felt heard, those of you who are not saying anything you want to say, just allow it to come through. Allow it to come out. Keep running your hands down your body, through the heart. That starts to yes, pain is releasing. I'm time jumping. just being here. Lower down more. Run it over your solar plexus. Getting rid of all that extra self-doubt, all of the ways that you think you need to check yourself and be humble. It's okay to feel yourself. It's okay to love yourself and know that you're here and you are one with spirit. Lower down to your sacral. Got a lot of healing here. Got a lot of release of trauma, old wounds, ancestral wounds. I'm feeling the ancestors coming in strong today, so prepare yourselves, other speakers, because they are coming and they are speaking through us. We are the gifts they gave the world, right? We are the gifts the earth gives herself, so stay present. Okay, we've got those hands down. You can move your hands around your body however you feel most comfortable. Put one in the front, one in the back, whatever is necessary, but that energy connection between your palms will always exist. Okay, we're going to go down to the roots, clear out any of the lack, and there's a lot of stuff where people are stepping in lines of parents or advice that may or may not actually flow with who they are. So allow that to clean out of your debris. Yeah, feel it in the right hip. I feel a lot of carrying of other people's weight or feeling responsible for things they're not really responsible for. We're going to let that go. We're going to let in freedom. Everything that we're letting out, we will fill it with love and light in just a minute. And I want you to run this energy now down your legs. Stop at your knees. Trust what the universe is giving you. Trust what you're feeling. Trust what you're experiencing. You are here with purpose and with reason. Oh yeah, there we go. We love you. We love you. Okay, now let's just lower down to our ankles, our support. It may be small. Ooh, my toes popping. What is going on? We're stepping into a new era, baby. Right. Oh, yeah. Out through the feet. And I want you to rest your palms near the soles of your feet and allow that energy to just exchange. And you can feel the closed circuit. If you take your tongue and put it to the top of the roof of your mouth, you're going to complete this energy circuit. So take a deep breath, like 3 deep breaths here, and I'll count them out. 1. Feel the energy circulating through your whole body. 2 comes in from both the earth and the heavens and flows through the hands, palms, up, thighs, through the sacred bone, and around. And 3. So now that we've connected all of our energy and we're in our protective bubble, I want you to take a moment here. Take a moment in body. Take a moment in this time to acknowledge you've won, to acknowledge you've done it. You're here. You have made it. Trust your inner child. Trust that playful nature. Trust that there must be so much going on, but in that stillness, in that center is you. You. I feel the crown lightening and becoming open, ready to receive the abundance of not only information that you're going to receive today, but of the self-wisdom, the wisdom that Spirit has given to you, your place, your mission, your love, and it's all through joy. What brings you joy? Thank you so much for meeting with me here during this meditation, anchoring into your body, lighting up all of your chakras, your hands, your feet, calling in your ancestors, calling in your power. I'm just so thankful that I get to do this with you. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them below. If you have any like specifics about how you want to anchor in certain energies, if you want to start unleashing your super twin powers, please let me know. You can email me, or I mean, if something comes up later, um, I'm definitely available for consultations. I love to do the energy clearings. I've got a lot of molecular bioscience and bioengineering background. So I work on a really molecular level, and I've got a lot of like different shaman training and stuff. So I just love shifting vibration, and that's all that's happening, just like the waves of the ocean. So maybe I should just plank this at the ocean for a hot minute, if there's no questions, and let you feel whatever it is that needs to arise. The beach is calling you. Where's your happy place? Where do you find peace? Repeat after me. I am peace.
I am.
I am love. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am powerful. I am amazing. I am that I am. I am here for a reason. I am here for all the reasons. Thank you. I am. I am thankful. I am. I am love. I am. Why can't I hear you? What's up? You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was so much out there in the daggone beach. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I travel myself. I be myself there in the beach. I was really having my son hat on and back there in one of the lounge chairs, and I was just on. I'm back now. I was transported. Thank you so very much for the lovely meditation that you opened us up. And that was just a special treat to be able to have nature be our special guest with the waves and stuff. I see CPN said she loved the view. And I see even Wave, Beautiful Warrior, or our own Benita said she loves it too. Everybody loves the waves. It was awesome. TG said it was awesome too. And the stretching was like, that was good to move all that energy even though we're in chairs, just to get the moving of the energies too, as well. So I'm in agreement with you. The ancestors have been talking about that, talking to us, and they are here, clearly here. And I'm glad that you had picked that up. So again, if you want some of all that lovely stuff that she was giving us, again, you can go to Made for This Golden Life. If you love stretches and everything that she could tap into other past lives and other people and things and tell you where your heart rate energies and different spots in your body, all that good stuff. She's just really a queen of all. I won't say Jack because Jack ain't nothing. She's a queen or empress or high priestess of all trades. Let me tell you, when it comes to spiritual and energy work, that's all I got to say about my sister.
Once I've tapped in, like once we have that karmic spiritual like agreement, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, spirit's like your permission to flood them with information.
Right. Yeah, we got flooded. We got flooded. It's like, what? And that's wrong with me, and this is wrong. And oh my God, the speech, everything. So thank you so very much for that, opening us to get ourselves in the mind space, ready to receive the information and all the good stuff that's coming from all of the speakers that's coming here today. So I thank you for setting the tone and the energy today too as well. Thank you so very much.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. This is amazing. I can feel all of us lighting up, and everywhere that we are is anchoring in such beauty.
Yes,
And
it
I know that some of us are having extreme chaos around us, but believe me, honey, it's going to smooth out. And some of
is.
us are having it on easy street and we think we're doing it wrong because we're not suffering. It's okay to feel good. It's okay to have a good time.
It
So
is.
to anchor that in too.
That's right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So we're gonna take that. April say it's okay. So we're gonna take that okay feeling and we're gonna pass it on, move on, and we're gonna pass the mic over to Kathy D. She's do like the TikTok. Drop the mic. There she go. And she's out. She dropped that mic there. Let me put it this way. All right, then. You ready? So how you all gonna do it? You're gonna have you do it first, and then you got a duo. This is Batman and Robin here. Benita, there she go. Benita's in there. I can tell she on a high echelon. I'm trying to joke with Benita's like I'm in the upper I'm up in the upper room right now. Don't talk to me right now. All right, I won't take myself out and I'm gonna hand it right on over to you guys. You all are in beautiful, capable hands at this time. All right, then, take it away. You muted. You muted. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, because my thing, I got nervous and I clicked the wrong. I was like, wait a second, she muted. Y'all got to know I'm audio person too, so y'all gonna know it's gonna get mighty interesting. Well, no, we gonna claim divine order just like the show, so it's gonna be in divine order. Okay, now I'm gonna go out again. I'm gonna put myself on mute.
What are you doing? Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm so glad everybody's here. I'm Kathy D with Pineapple Fish Life Coaching .com. And so I am, as they call me, the brain or the mind Jedi. I don't know about all that, but I do enjoy that. A little bit about what Pineapple Fish Life Coaching does. We are a life coaching and hypnotherapy company and help you with not only physical and emotional ailments, but also we're getting into helping you heal yourself and change your body the way you want to see it. So that's a lot of stuff that's coming this next year. But before we can get into that really great stuff that's coming this next year, we have to let go. We got to let go of a lot of stuff and a lot of that negative talk. And we've let go of a lot of it. But what we've got to let go of now is what other people have told us. And unfortunately, today in sunny Florida, it is raining. So my presentation isn't working like it was. I was going to take you guys out in the yard and we were going to have a fire and we were going to burn things. So just have to do your own imaginary fire. But I want to talk to you about some of the things that we have heard that we need to let go of. And so what I did was I made a list. And I thought about all the things that I've been told and the reason I can't do things. And these might show up backwards, which they probably will. No, it's not. I'm too old. I'm too short. Just not pretty enough. Never picked first. Nobody wants her on that team. I'm second best. We've all heard that. Well, she'll do, or he'll do. I'm not seen. I'm not heard. And those are the things that haunt us because we follow with, why bother? We sit there and we tell everybody, oh, I just sit back and watch. I just take it all in. No, because we've been told at some point in time, we're not seen, we're not heard. What we have to say doesn't matter. And it's time to get rid of those things. Those things need to go away because we do matter. What we say is important. Us being there is important. Now, we take those negative ones, and what I would have done with my little pile here is I burn them and I release them into the universe for the powers to be, God and the angels to take and transmute. And I ask them to take those things that I have realized that I am not and transmute that and send that love to people that haven't realized that yet, that it'll be a blessing on them. But you know what I have figured out? That I do deserve? I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be the first choice. This is a big one for a lot of people. I deserve to love myself. I deserve to care for myself. I deserve, no matter what age, to follow my dreams. I deserve to be abundant. Abundance, remember, isn't always money. Abundance is living comfortably, healthy. You can have abundant health. You can have abundant finances. You can have abundant love. Why can't we have it all? And most importantly, I deserve to be loved unconditionally. That's a hard one, even though we know we deserve it. I have been very blessed this past year that I have found my soul family. My bonus mom is out there, my sister. They gave my children a family when we didn't have one. To know, even at the age of 47, what it feels like to be truly loved for who you are is a gift greater than anything anyone can ever give you. And it is absolutely the most unbelievable thing. So those that I just went through, the things that I deserve, I also burn those. But I send them up to the universe, to God, to the angels, that they take care of them, that they remind me when I forget, that they bless me with these things that I know I deserve. So as we're getting ready and then we're coming into 12/21 and coming into the new year, coming into 2021, take some time and write down, journal it out. You don't have to use big pieces of paper like I did. You can write it out on a piece of paper and just burn it. You know, if you don't have an outside area to burn, just put them in a pot in the kitchen sink and, light them. Just make sure there's water there. No fire hazards, please. But write down what you no longer are taking. You're not taking out of 2020 into 2021. We have gotten our hefty bags from 16 down to a couple. It's time to take the trash out. It's time to recognize what we deserve. It's time to recognize and believe. When you look at yourself, you should see the unbelievable creature you are, the person you are, the loving person you are. You should love your, as I call it, your meat suit or your soul garage, because it's you. Yeah, there might be, I might have more overhangs on my garage than I want, but it is what it is. It's me. It doesn't change who I am. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, my children aren't going to say, "Oh, remember, mom had, a few more rolls than she wanted." I want them to remember that she loved unconditionally, that she wanted to help people, that she loved life. Those are the legacies we leave, not what we look like. We have to believe in who we are and what we provide, because everybody has an important job in this world. So as we go into 2021, I wish everyone the most loving, fruitful, abundant 2021, that we may close these chapters as we know are closing with 2020, that we are able to count our blessings from 2020. One thing we all need to do, myself included, is on the first day of the new year, start a gratitude journal. You can be grateful for something simple as I have a pen and a journal. I have socks that match. I have electricity. As you make that list, adding things to it every day, by the end of the year, you will have a journal full of blessings that no one can ever take away from you. And what a great thing to look back on. All those amazing blessings. All of those amazing things that life has to offer you. It's all right. We're not perfect. Nobody's ever said we were. We make mistakes. We get mad. We get upset. We get hurt. We cry. But may 2021, and as we move into this new era, may we have more happy tears than sad tears. May our blessings be so abundant that we can't write them all down. You have to excuse me when my angels come in. This is what happens. That we are loved and know we are loved. That is the best gift we can offer. And don't be afraid to reach out to your soul family. Those are those people that, as my daughter put it, heals a missing piece in your heart you never knew was missing till they hugged you. And then they made you feel whole again. That is what soul family is. And that is probably one of the greatest blessings we have. Now, I don't know. Divine, how do you want us to do this? Where'd you go? Come back on. Calling in the Divine. Paging Dr. Divine. Hello. Now she's muted.
I'm talking behind the scenes. I'm trying to get Sean together too at the same time. I got him on the phone. Just hold on a second. So what did you want to do? You could go straight to Benita.
Do you want me to go straight on with Benita?
Oh, this
Okay.
you all. Y'all got the whole hour. You to 1:45. I just put both your slots
The
together.
whole hour?
Yeah,
We'll be
Benita.
doing a rendition of Christmas carols for the last 30 minutes. So.
This is Benita's thing. Benita said, I want to be together with my soul sister. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna move everybody around so you can be with your soul sister. So now y'all just go and take over, whatever. If you want to talk to Archangel Michael, y'all can do that. Chat it over him, whatever.
Oh boy, are you all in for a ride?
Okay, I'm out.
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Benita. My channel is Way of a Beautiful Warrior. I am a clear channel and empath, and this lady right here is my soul sister. And until a year ago, I didn't know such a thing existed. We somehow, well, we know how. Ended up, we signed up for a prayer group, and we ended up getting put together. And it was crazy because we live like 30 minutes apart.
Yeah.
30 minutes from each other. And as the longer we talked and everything else, we figured out my mom lived down the road from her dad. It was just crazy stuff. We had instances in our life where we just kind of wove in and out from one another. And then the first time we met face to face, it was like my niece, her daughter, said, it's like hugging somebody and realizing, that's home. It's a piece that's been missing. There's times when she and I will sit there and talk, and we're bouncing right off of one another. Sometimes no words necessary. We can sit there for a few minutes, and it's like our higher selves, our higher consciousness just kind of melds. There's times when I feel her very strongly. She feels me. Quick test, what's going on? Yeah, okay. Crazy stuff like that. And it is crazy until it happens to you. And a lot of people don't realize that family isn't blood. Not all. Yeah, we have that, the genetics and stuff like that, but we have that, like Kathy said, our meat suits, but inside we're pure energy, we're souls. And all of our souls, all of consciousness, all of humanity is connected. And some more connected than others, but we're all connected. Not only, like she and I as soul sisters, but, for us in the TF community, we have soul children also. Similar concept. It's just our counterparts. Like with mine, his daughter is my soul child. I helped raise her and everything, but she, divinely is mine. As far as soul family, it's been really put on me, and this is what four times I think it's been like being put on me, that she and I need to speak about it together, because for a lot of people, seeing is believing. It doesn't register to them, especially having grown up in an environment of like unconditional love, or seen it, emulated in any way, shape, or form. If you haven't felt that, experienced it, or whatever, you don't realize that, your family doesn't have to be your blood or your genetic makeup. You can have these people that are in your life that are in no way, shape, or form, connected to you on a physical aspect, but they are your family. And people need to see that it does exist, that it is there, that you're not confined to just your biological family, because there's so much going on in the world right now. Children being, you know, put away from by their parents, for who they are, not even for choices they make, but actually who they are on a legitimate level. Even children, moving away from their parents, in a loving, aspect and everything, because parents are human too. We make choices, and sometimes we don't understand the consequences. Can be long reaching. We think we're doing the best that we can, and it's just so many things can affect an actual, physical family. And it's sad, but we also need to know that in addition to the physical family, we do have our soul families. And as you reach a higher level of consciousness, that soul family starts coming in droves and droves, to where you don't feel alone anymore. You're not going to feel alone anymore, because we are not meant to be alone. There's that saying, I came into the world alone, I'm going to leave it. No, I call bull on that. No, we're not meant to be alone. That's not how the universe and source wants us to be. I'm starting to get quivers inside when I start shaking from the inside out. I know source has got me. We have to. It's like an evolution. In the biblical aspect, it would be like that Christ consciousness. In the spiritual community, it's similar and everything, but as we delve into our higher consciousness, we do the healing. We dig deep within ourselves and everything. We learn our triggers. We learn our self-worth. We learn our boundaries. We learn who we are on a soul level. Our soul family starts coming in, and
It's hard to put words to it.
Yeah.
It really is. It's so hard to have someone, and especially on the whole TF adventure, to have someone else other than that divine counterpart to be able to send you that message and say, "Are you okay?" Or "Why is this going on? Why am I thinking this?" Or best yet, all-time favorite of mine, "Are you drinking coffee? I smell coffee." That's our normal like Saturday morning conversations. "Are you up? You're drinking coffee? I smell coffee." But it is such an amazing thing, this soul family, and it reaches so many different parts. It's not just building a family that's your own. Everybody says, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Well, that's not exactly true. You can. And it's almost one of those, they pick you.
Mm.
You just kind of migrate to this wonderful group of people that just unbelievable. I mean, literally 2 years ago, I was an only child. And now I have more brothers and sisters than I know what to do with, which is fantastic. It's amazing. I've never been a big fan of holidays, being an only child. And the thought of next year having a Thanksgiving where everybody could be together just is an amazing thought, to be with all that love. And it works even with our children. And Benita's kind of touched on that with the soul children. We all have a time and a place in life that we needed to be here. We all have, like I've said, a job. There's something that we need to do. And we have, our children, our own physical children, the beautiful little hot mess, spoiled brats that they are at times. God love them. Yeah, if you're watching this later, girls, love you. But we have, unfortunately, when we don't make the right decisions, things happen for us, and it happens to them. And then as our lives change and our families change, and so when you have a separation in family and you're taking in new children, or new children are being taken in, be a step family situation, a half, you know, these children, they all meld together and their souls meld together. And that's what the important thing is in the new dynamic. And you've talked about this on your channel plenty of times, of having to learn with this, what do you call it? The
New family dynamic.
Yeah, it's a new family dynamic where it's mom and dad and stepmom and stepdad, or dad's girlfriend or boyfriend, or blended, whatever. And we have to,
without the baby mama drama or the daddy papa drama or whatever you want to call it drama. None of that existing, because it can happen. It can happen.
and the whole baby mama, and oh well, that that's the baby mama. Just stop, please. I've heard so many readers talk about that, especially when they're talking in like karmic situations. We gotta let that go. We got to let that go. That child was needed here for a reason. And when we use terms like baby mama and stuff like that in a derogatory, I mean, it's okay. Like I'll say to my own children, who do you think I am? Your baby mama? And then they'll be like, yes, you are our mama. But when used in a derogatory way, we've got to stop that, because at the end of the day, we're all family in one way, shape, or form. And even we've done some separately, and we haven't done it yet together, which is going to be probably, I think, one of our tricks over Christmas break. And I say tricks, if you spend enough time with the two of us, you'd understand that. But doing some past life regression, because we've already seen there are things that have crossed and our paths, and places we've been, and memories we both have had, and that didn't happen this go around. So and that's the amazing part of this, because you can truly be yourself. This lady is not one of those that I say, oh wait, I have another call coming on because I have to go to the bathroom. If we're in the middle of a conversation, she's coming with me. She will hear the flush in the background. That is because I don't have to worry about who I truly am, because she loves me for me, just like I love her for her.
I call her on her cat.
And I do her too. And that's the thing, because when she calls me on it and tells me to quit being stubborn, or not to go there like that, or watch what I'm saying, that sounds negative, or get over it, it'll be all right.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Suck it up, buttercup. But when we say these things to each other, it is in unconditional love, because I know that I have the ability, when she says it to me, that when she's in that mood, I can say it back to her, and it's not taken offensively. It's usually an eye opener, like, oh yeah, I see where I was doing that again. Okay.
I'm actually a little bit more stubborn than she is. She listens to me more.
I know. And then she tells me, I just had confirmation. Really? I told you 2 weeks ago, but thanks for playing along on the home game. But, and that's the thing, being able to be connected enough to a person that when they are stubborn, and source, divine, the angels, God can't get through to them, they send you the message and you pass it on to them.
I was just told, for those of us that are twins, this is what union looks like. So,
and you have to be in union with yourself, and you have to be in union with your soul family to be able to move on. Because, and please, anybody that is out there believing that it is sunshine, roses, and lollipops, that
and rainbows.
And rainbows, and if you were watching last night, 4 pieces of macaroni, it is that you're just going to ride off into this beautiful sunset and it's going to be wonderful. Yeah, it'll be an unbelievable relationship, but you have to understand that there's more work to be done. As Divine always says, we are a learning planet. We never stop learning.
Mm-hmm.
And so you now have your other half with you when you learn, when they come in. But until then, you have your soul family that is with you and helping you learn along the way and to love yourself unconditionally. And when you beat yourself up, somebody's there to say, hey, knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough.
Or go with it and play devil's advocate, because sometimes we need that. There's times she got me a couple times with her little psych thing here, and I'm the one with the degree in psychology, and she got me. But a couple times I went down the little rabbit hole, and she just started playing devil's advocate. Oh, it's okay. All right, so that's what you want to do. Okay, all right. And just, literally giving me, pointers on what I should do, and just all kinds of negative crap. It was so, and it took me a minute till it dawned on me. Oh my gosh, she's using reverse psychology on me. But sometimes we need people that are willing to do that and who love us enough to do that, instead of being too scared to speak up and say something because they think they're going to upset you. You know, or you having your boundaries up so high that you can't see when somebody's trying to help you.
Well, and you've listened to that negative talk for so long and what you
Yeah,
are.
you don't realize, oh my gosh, it's very eye-opening, because once you start coming out of that and it gets, kind of thrown back in your face, when you're least expecting it, you kind of go, wait a minute, that don't sound right. What? Yeah. And we need that. We really, really need that. I can't. I can honestly say that over this last year, and see, she's been going for what, a year and a half before.
Mhm.
Yeah, before, and mind you, our journeys are very similar
And very different.
Yeah, we've known ours since kids. You know, um, I happen to marry mine and have kids and grandkids and everything. And
No grandkids. Not
and
yet. Please. No, God.
and then, and we were back and forth. I swear, this is probably our 12th separation, but it's been the hardest one. And it was the soul shock one. I literally went into soul shock. And within a month and a half, it was probably about 6 weeks after that, is when she and I got paired together just out of the blue. Mm-hmm. There was no rhyme or reason how we got put together besides.
Actually, it was done by time zone.
Yeah.
It was actually done by time.
Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah.
There's no reason, you know what I'm saying? There was like hundreds of other people we could have been put with. But, I lost my train of thought.
Derailed that train.
But it's just, like I said before, I kept getting the push that people need to see this. They need to see the dynamic and understand it, because it's real. It's out there. This is what union looks like. Not only, and we're striving for union within, but as we're striving for union within, learning to have that union without.
Being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And where we talk about, yes, that we'll put each other's weaknesses in their faces, and we'll trigger each other. Mm-hmm. And our other, soul sisters will as well. Divine and April, they can jump right in there with us too. And but we can celebrate with each other. That is probably the greatest thing, being able to celebrate with your soul family and know that there's not the jealousy, there's not the, you are just so happy for them. And it's that unconditional feeling. It's not that, Uncle Bob got a new job and they're moving to, Nantucket or wherever and in this beautiful home. And everybody else is like, yeah, Bob and Sue, I always get that. But, where we are, oh, great, Nantucket, we're going this summer. This is fantastic. You're so excited for them because on that level that they so deserve that.
Mhm.
And when they have the downfalls, you start to see how the cycles work. And there have been plenty of times that things have happened to me or things have happened to her, and it actually warns the other one to step back.
Definitely.
Don't step in that hole.
Hey, you saw what I did 2 weeks ago? Don't be me. I tell her all the time. Don't be me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or you know why you're doing that, right? Do you remember what I did a couple? Why you're doing that.
Oh, yeah.
So it is, and you know what? Especially when you're on this twin flame journey, it is so nice to have someone to talk to, multiple people to talk to once you build up your soul family, and they don't think you're crazy when you go, oh, I heard, or I felt, or source sent me, because everybody's in tune. We're all on that same level, that it's just such a wonderful. Everybody has different abilities. It's those that choose to use them, and be open to them and appreciative of them. And we have to not be afraid of them, but also be cautious on who we let know that we can do it, because immediately you can always kind of tell the wrong people that know when you say something and they kind of pick up on it, because they usually immediately ask you for the lottery numbers. Yeah. Can you tell me, what are the winning lottery numbers? No, but I can tell you you're going to get in a car accident on the way home. But no, I don't know the winning lottery numbers. Nothing that drastic, but and then the feelings, just being able to know that you're not alone and you are far, far, far from crazy. And we doubt it. There are times we'll call each other or send messages.
Am I going crazy?
Have I lost my
crazy
mind?
Or
Mm-hmm.
no, then everybody around us is crazy, and
Yeah, and then when you start looking at the rest of your soul family and everything else, and you're like, yeah, well, all those people can't be crazy too. So yeah, I'm okay.
And another thing, like, that we found, and I know extensively, like with you and I, like a lot of it has to do with our past lives and everything. There is a very strong connection between herself and her person, and myself and my person, and like my person and her tend to mirror, and her person and me tend to mirror, and then our kids are involved too, and they tend to mirror, and you'll notice that. And I think, okay, that's what I'm hearing, that a lot of people with this journey being so lonely, you're afraid after this, certain amount of times of people looking at you like you've lost your marbles, you kind of stop putting yourself out there, even when you felt led to. Don't. There's a reason why you keep feeling led to, and yeah, you might get triggered, and somebody may even look at you like you're nuts or say, "Are you crazy?" or whatever, and that's only because they're terrified to express themselves, and they're going through the same thing. But I'm hearing, don't be scared to put yourself out there, because your soul family is trying to come in. Keep putting yourself out there. And yeah, you might get a couple crazy looks. There might be a reason why you need to speak to somebody. Maybe you're like the eye opener for somebody. We're all catalysts in some way to somebody. But then you may put your boundaries and your barriers up to someone who is your soul family. It might take you a little bit longer to, click and mesh with them. There's something else.
Well, I know
they're throwing things at me.
And they're throwing things.
Yeah.
That way. See, that's
water. Sorry.
Breathe.
Sorry. Thank you.
Take care of you. I'm gonna burp too. But the thing is, and it's funny because we have a lot of the similar gifts, but then ours are also very different. And so, when I'll say, I got this, am I right? It's nice to know that we have confirmation.
Mhm.
So cut it, girls. Insert out. Okay, I guess we're done now.
Okay.
Nice talking to everybody. What is this Wave of a Beautiful Warrior?
Yeah.
Check her out. She's got a YouTube channel. It's amazing.
Oh wait, really quick, Regina. Sorry, I was told Taurus told me to pull cards this morning right before. The Empress, Eight of Cups. Oh, she said something.
Oh,
See, she's like our mom or something.
I know it. Oh, you heard
Okay.
nothing yet.
Okay. So, okay, all right. Well,
Well, now show time to explain.
the Empress, nurturing. Okay, I got nurturing, opening our creative gifts, especially going in at 1221. The 1212 portal connects to the 1221 solstice, which will then connect to the new year. It's all a connection. It's like dominoes. Save that, thank you. And the whole thing right now is we're being asked to embrace our creative, our feminine energy, our nurturing energy, and everything else. And then go with the Eight of Cups and cut out everything. Let me put it. There we go. Everything that does not serve you, chunk it out the door. Get rid of it. Like she was talking about, burn it. Not literally. Well, maybe literally. Some literally, but no fire hazards. Okay.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh.
Divine says we're doing better. So.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I have been pushed several times to I'm very stubborn. I'm sorry. I freely admit it. Freely admit it. I'm telling you right now that my guides walk around banging their head on the wall, and I feel so sorry for them because I am one of those that I'm so about the I'm so about the free will, and look at myself. Yeah. My other
We'll
half
talk
is so
about that
about the
later.
free will right now. But either way, I'm a Virgo, but I'm a Pisces moon, and the mesh of it together, like she was talking about, the signs, needing the confirmation and everything else. I have a lot of analytical thinking, but for me, seeing is believing. And I think that's why I was being told, people need to see dynamic of what soul family looks like, what, union looks like, that aspect of it and everything. But when we're being pushed and everything, it's that still small voice. You just keep hearing it. And, things start going crazy in our life. Chaos ensues and everything else. And it can be a little chaos. It can be a lot chaos. We need to listen, pay attention and listen. We're guided. We have guides, sources guiding us. Our higher selves are guiding us. We're not meant to be on this earth to suffer. We're just not. We're just not. We're supposed to have abundance in all things. Either way, I have been feeling the push that and being told multiple times that I am not using my gifts the way that well, not the way, but to the full potential that I'm supposed to be using them. So that's I'm cutting out. That's my Eight of Cups. I've made the decision, and I noticed when the cards spelled earlier before we came on, I went, "You've got to be kidding me." And it was, I asked for collective advice and everything. And I think that across the board, from what I understand, what I've talked to with different peoples, I think the Empress and the Eight of Cups is going to resonate because we've all got certain things. And for me, it's literally cutting out the stuff that is no longer serving me. I get so stubborn wanting confirmation and proof, like before I make a move. And we have to go out of that. We have to just start learning to trust. Another thing, our time's almost up.
I know. So do your spiel.
Okay. Another thing, soul children. In addition to soul children, we also have our own children. When we start the ascension process, and we start learning about ourselves, there's a lot of triggers that happen. We start realizing things that we could have done differently. We start seeing, let's just put it this way. I have gone to each one of my 5 children and said, you know what, Mommy's sorry. Do you remember this, 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 and this? No, Mom, I don't remember. Well, either way, I apologize, because you know what? Mommy shouldn't have done that. Mommy shouldn't have spoken to you like that. Mommy shouldn't have gotten aggravated like that. Mommy shouldn't have, mommy shouldn't have, mommy shouldn't have. Because you learn a lot of our behavior, it stems from wounding. We're all born with a core wound, but as we grow through our childhood and stuff, the least little thing, your parent could have been the most spectacular parent on earth, but the one time they sent you to your room because you painted on the wall, you know what? There's a wound, and it's not that they were trying to, cause you pain or anything like that. It's our psyches, our ego there to protect ourselves. And as we get older, we use that to, it's, speaking of kids.
Speaking of children, if you could hear that, that would have been mine.
Our egos are there to protect us. It's not bad to have an ego. What we need to do, though, is listen to it and work with it. And as we are in the process of doing our own healing, and we have children, start teaching our children. It's never too young to teach your child how to meditate. You can meditate with a toddler. Literally get on their level or pull them up to yours, bracket them up here, and let's breathe. 1, 2, and so on. You can do 3 or 4 breaths and just smile and giggle. That's a meditation for a toddler.
Mm-hmm. Even have them tell them, let's blow up a balloon. Let's blow up an imaginary balloon.
Yeah.
Encourage their imagination. Mm-hmm. Because those of us that, as we get older, and I hear it all the time, especially with hypnotherapy, mm-hmm. I can't visualize. And but it's a lot of that is because the let's pretend and imagination wasn't encouraged. Mm-hmm. Always encourage it.
Definitely. And include your kids. Include your kids in your healing. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know that for those of us with twins, and we're going on that aspect of our journey, that's kind of solo. But in all of the other stuff, include your kids. Mm-hmm. Sit down with them and, listen to, you don't have to have the what is it, the crystal, whatever, chakra.
Oh, yeah.
That thing. Listen to some of the Hertz music,
Have it playing in the background.
Yeah. It's the simple, thank you, Bull.
Yes.
Thank you. It's just little things. We have to start including our children in our healing. That's the main thing. That's the start of the new family dynamic, is including our children with the healing, because we're at that point on earth. Our consciousness is raised enough that we have to start including the children, because you know what? The next generation after our children, higher consciousness. Oh my gosh.
It's going to be a higher conscious nation, is what she was trying to say.
Yes. Okay. If you need help,
I just read what you just singing bowels.
If you need help, that's what I'm here for. And thank you. Yay. Thank you. Nation, nature, same thing. We're all one consciousness, including our children. So start acting like they're an extension of your consciousness, because that's what they are. And you'll also notice as you pull them in, I've noticed several times, like with our youngest, And I started doing stuff and including stuff in with him and everything, and it breathes new life into me. And whereas before, uh, there's sometimes when you kind of as a parent, you don't know what to do with your child, and as sad as that is, I'm sure every parent has gone through that in some way, shape, or form. They get to a certain age where you just don't know what to do with your child, especially now in the technological age. But if you just, I mean, 30 minutes a day, take 30 minutes a day, regardless of the age of your child, make them take a walk with you down the driveway without earbuds, without anything. Um, you know, uh, have them sit down and color with you. I mean, my 16-year-old will sit there and color with me, Um, singing, just sing out of tune, crazy stuff, just make up songs. Dance gets your chakras moving and going and everything else. The breathing exercises. There are so many ways that you can use to go into a meditation where you're not in an actual like a Zen. There's a difference between a Zen meditation where you're solely focused inward, and then an outward meditation where you can see, and be a part of the environment around you. And just start including your kids with this because it's needed. We have to start using the tools that we're learning now with our kids, because then it's going to go so on, so on, so on. It's like a domino effect, and we're getting to that point where higher consciousness has evolved. We've got that Christ consciousness coming in, and we're building a beautiful, better earth.
Yeah, and the kids are actually very open to it. And as we learn things, just as simple things like today, the 12/12 portal, the solstice, and what it actually means. I don't even remember whose channel it was, but it was somebody that was talking about, and I think we kind of mentioned it on the playground too, that Friday the 13th actually isn't an unlucky day, that it's actually an extremely lucky day for women, and how that came about, and to share that little bit of information with our kids and to let them know. And as I say that, I touch my crystals, and you know what? That's a really neat thing to share with your kids. They're shiny, they're pretty, and all that kind of stuff. And you teach them about this as you learn. And you know what? Then, like, my oldest will go find things out and say, "Hey, did you know?" And then it becomes, that they, are finding out about things too, and about nature and how they work, how we all work together. It takes it out of um the higher consciousness that humans are the ones in charge, I think, is the best way to put it, that we work together with all these other things,
plants, animals, everything is energy. Everything is energy. The bed we're sitting on right now, it's energy. It's vibrating so quickly that it's solid. Quantum physics.
And that's another really neat thing, is to bring that up to your kids.
Hi, you're muted.
You're muted. We can't hear you, so we don't have to listen.
Thank you. All right. Okay. I was trying to ease on in. I wasn't ready to talk then, but okay. Since you said unmute, I will come in. Okay. But are there any questions? Because I mean, you got a lot of good stuff that came out, especially when you talk about the family dynamics from Benita and from Kathy D. The aspects, because they both have kids, so they can see. And I'm sure some of the Sunshiners over there too have kids, and they can kind of tell. I can do it even as a classroom teacher too. See a lot of the things that I'm introducing and I'm doing. The kids are very open. This new breed here, they're nothing like before. They're open to it. As long as you can seem like you're okay with it, they're okay with it. So I'm in agreement with that. So if anybody got any questions, because we don't want to just be us talking, but if you got anything that you want to add in from them as well, while we got a couple of minutes left here, please put your comments or your questions in the little chat in the Sunshine Lounge too as well. So I just really it was just interesting that you were mentioning as well about just like I'm just really with the kids and the family dynamics, and also talking about the soul family, like again how it seems like to me how important it is for us to go into 2021 again, to get those people who actually vibrate with you. And if they don't vibrate with you, don't worry about it, because it seems like spirit and source, according to you guys, say is going to bring you that soul family.
It will.
That is, so that's a very interesting. I like the, like you said, this is union, how you have that banter going back and forth and having that wonderful rhythm to each other and playing with each other like sisters do.
I told you.
Yes. So I mean, we seen it, and that is kind of, again, with our twin, no matter what the dynamic is, it's going to do the same thing too. So I'm in agreement with you. You'll have that kind of banter, go back and forth with your divine partner. I don't like counterpart. Your divine partner as well, too. There's no questions. Come on, y'all. It's none.
You mean, wait a minute. Now, you can't tell me that my beautiful big sister does not have a question.
No question.
I'm going to call her out now. Oh, I see how you are, girl.
You got these lovely ladies here. Yes. Okay, CPN, you're going to be brave. I'm going to give you a homework pass, a free homework pass. You don't have to do the homework. I'm going to give you afterwards for the show. Yeah, so I'm going to see it. Maybe she's conjuring it up. I don't know. A question or not. You said also it was a point there about this re-review again with the cards, because I heard it and I didn't hear it. So you're saying spirit has told you through the cards. What's our takeaway? That we got to have what, and what? Again, I know you say the 8 of Cups.
Okay. Empress came out first. It literally flew out, and all I heard was nurture and create.
Okay, nurture and create. Yes.
We need to bring in our nurturing. Whether we're male or female, we have that feminine energy regardless, and we need to start bringing that out and using it to create and nurture everybody around us. With that, also remember who we are, and those that are not vibrating at that frequency, that are constantly trying to create chaos in our lives and stuff like that, we need to learn to let go.
Right.
The 8 of Cups is all about letting go. And it doesn't necessarily mean, it's forever or whatever. It's just at that time period, it's what's better for you.
Right. And I was also instructed too that it might get to a point that we might not have to. We don't have to do it. It's look like the angels.
Yeah.
They're going to escort them. Okay, here's the door. There you go. We're going to escort you out. No, I'm sorry. You can't stay in her life anymore. I'm sorry, because you're not resonating right. I got a question. Yay! All right, here we go. My oldest, this from Kelly. All right, my oldest, who is 13, who I raised in church for 5, isn't happy about me getting into crystals, etc. I try to explain from the science, quantum physics aspects, but any advice?
Most definitely. Kelly, you thank you for your question. Thank you for being here with us today. But the main thing is explain that these crystals, they're made by God. And that's one of his creations, and that, it has a blessing on it. That's why these things have been done. Just as now I was raised Catholic. So, holy water and things like that, they have meaning. A rosary, a blessed rosary, things like that, they have meanings. They come from crystals that were made by God and strung together as a way to pray. So it's just another, way of giving thanks to God for all the many things he's created that sometimes we lose focus on.
Right. Energy. They come from the earth. Our son, our youngest, I know that all my children have chosen their path. I am pagan, and our oldest daughter has followed my path. Our second oldest, she chose Christianity. Our youngest chose Christianity, and my son, from my soulmate, he's an atheist. I mean, I've got an eclectic bunch all through. My youngest, he was having trouble understanding, my path and what I did with my crystals and stuff like that. And I had to sit down and explain to him, quantum physics, like the crystals, they come from the earth. They are a way to help with energy. They help heal. I found resources and documentation and stuff, historical references of crystals being used throughout, history and everything. And that helped to open him up to it and to understand it better.
Beautiful. I got another question real quick, and then I'm going to bring, I got a great thing coming up next. All right. So we have, I guess, channel me a message about co-parenting and living with other parents and still calling in twins. You say pull a card out for the new family dynamic.
Okay. April, you and I will get together and talk about that. Yeah.
She
That's
said
no
it's too
problem.
long. That's called for it's too long. And she said in 2 seconds or 2 minutes, she needs more time.
Yeah, because I know that experience has been had, so I know exactly what she's talking about.
Oh yeah, just packing my bags from that one. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. So she says she got a freebie on you. Y'all hook it up. You all could talk about that. Oh, that one. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. She's right. Oh, I'm sure everybody was like, I'd like to know the answer. Okay, about that. If you can, okay, I'll hit you all later on and text you something and just to hit your brains about something on the schedule. So all right then. So ladies, thank you so very much. My soul sisters, y'all got to come up with like a cute something. I got soul sisters, the dynamic duo or something like that for you.
What was that? Wonder Twins.
The Wonder Twins. There we go. We heard from the Wonder Twins.
They used to be able to turn into monkeys.
What Source gave me? Remember I texted you? Whatever it's called?
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be Soul Sessions.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's what you all. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Soul Sessions. Okay, gotcha. All right, so that's that. So thank you, Soul Sessions. I see y'all taking this out on the road. It's gonna be hilarious.
We'll be coming to the campgrounds near you.
Right. So thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for you all coming on here and give your thing. So again, hold on a second. Don't stray too far because I got to hit you on the text about something real quick. All right there. So I will see you all when I get you all and see what you all pick you all's brains on something. So thank you so very much. I'm about to say everybody give a hand in the showtime.
Bye, Mom. Mom, thank you for watching.
Thank you. All right then. So I'm gonna bring in next. All right, so I know David's gonna crack up laughing because I'm like live from I did a joke with him and said I wanted to bring in the DMs so everybody could get an understanding about seeing DMs up close. I think again when we think about divine feminines, just to be honest, some of us is a little scary when we talk about divine masculines or we talk to them because of different experiences. Either it's our childhood wounding of how our parents or our father had talked to us and raised us. Some of it, again, from experiences of being in past relationships with them. It hasn't been so rocky. And so some of us, when we do say DM, we have a little PTS, a little bit syndrome that happens with that. So I was glad talking to David earlier. I said, I'm going to bring you all in. Y'all going to be like specimens, like the DM in the wild. And we're going to actually see the DM in his natural habitat today. So this is what we're doing today. So I want to have them here so they can be able to tell you. I got also David and Sean. They're going to do a back-to-back. They're going to do like the dynamic duo here. I'm going to bring them in so I can make sure I don't mess this up and take myself out. So I got them. I said, you know what? I think maybe you all should do this together and just really hit them with all that divine masculine energy and this ladies, so they can really understand what is going on with the divine masculine. You all chatted up and how we could be even prepared with the divine masculine energies for 2021. All right, then. So I'm going to take myself out and the floor is yours. I'm dropping the mic like the TikTok and it's all yours.
Thanks, Bertina. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Cool. I got these headphones on. If I don't have these, then it messes everything up. So yeah, I woke up this morning. Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I said I got earbud.
Oh,
they can
okay.
be seen. I don't know. Yeah.
Nice. That cuts down the background noise. But yeah, I woke up this morning and I literally was like, what journey am I on? And I've
What is that? What do you mean by that?
which journey am I on? Am I on the journey that I think I'm on, or am I on the journey that I didn't think I was on? And if I'm on the journey that I didn't think I was on, what is it, right? Like every single day that I wake up, almost every single day that I wake up for like the last month, I feel like I'm on a completely different timeline. I wake up disorientated. I wake up with a different mission. I wake up not knowing exactly what it is that where I am at. You know, I resolve things the day before, and the next day it's like, holy crap, you know. And I'll ask myself, what timeline am I actually in? And the last time that this happened, I was in the chaotic timeline. And this morning when I woke up, I was in the foggy timeline. Like I was just, it was really foggy and I couldn't get clear. And I had literally no idea what I was going to talk about today. And it's funny because I'm literally talking about the fact that I didn't know what I'd be talking about, right? So that's how much, that's how in the moment I actually am right now, which is, I think that's the solution, right? To almost every single fear that we have would be to actually bring yourself right back to the moment and just start to observe. So that's kind of where I'm at today.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, we're in definitely very, very unusual energies. I would say maybe I'm having the opposite day of you. I feel a very clear sense of self today and a very clear sense of direction. But, you know, today being 12/12, today is a timeline jump, by the way, you know, for the collective sense. So if you woke up feeling on a different timeline today, it's because you probably are. And so it's a huge global, like, collective thing. And I'm up here in DC. I just want to quickly introduce my aunt, Rochelle. She's here with me. We're up here. We're up here at the the Stop the Steal rally in DC. And we're really, it's really doing wonders for my soul because I've had so much warrior energy coming through for like the past, really for a long time, but especially for the past few weeks, and just feeling overwhelmed by it. And I kind of had to have that sort of gave me that existential moment that you're going through now, but I had to have this moment of deep humility and realize that, yes, I am warrior energy, and I've been a soldier in so many lifetimes in the past lives or whatever, parallel lives, blah blah. No, I'm good. I can hold it. She's offering to hold it. She's so sweet. You're so sweet. I've been a warrior soldier in so many lives. It was really humbling for me to accept myself as who I am today, which is high priest energy, of course, but still bring that to the front and still bring that to who I've always been. And in this lifetime, I've always been an activist. I stand up for justice. I stand against slavery and exploitation and things of that sort. And so here I am today, like being myself, being more myself than I've been in several years, you know, like, cause I was kind of like, you know, in whatever process of growth, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's like I did this existential process of negotiating that inner, for me, it's not a fight or flight response. It's just a fight or fight harder response, you know? And it's kind of like, that energy was just so strong inside of me that now I feel like it's actually got an outlet, and that I'm more so stepping into my own than I've been in a long time. And the energy up here in DC today is fantastic. It's just beautiful up here. And I just feel like so much love and so much evolution coming forward for us for 2021. So, but in particular, a question that arises within me concerning you, David, is that are you? How does it relate to the twin flame aspect? Are you questioning that part as well?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not questioning the twin flame aspect. And first of all, I want to actually kind of hop on what you just said, because I just think it's really awesome that you're out there doing that. And I remember there was a period of time where I knew that if I was going to survive in this awakening, in the ascension process, that I was going to have to like get really active. And I think it was actually you that gave me the advice, like, you need to, for your anger, you need to go on these walks, because I was clearing anger that I couldn't even, like, I was paralyzed. Like the anger that I was clearing was causing me to be immobile, where I would go to my bedroom and hide because I was scared. And so what's funny, as you're talking, I'm remembering when I got active and I got out there and started walking, and like 3 days into it, my third day out there walking, I ended up getting this condition called plantar fasciitis, where I couldn't walk anymore, right? And so I'm like, well, I can't do that. So now I'm stuck clearing anger again, immobile. And I want to punch a punching bag, right? So I go to punch a punching bag and I hurt my wrist. And what was happening was basically it was saying, no, you're not going to clear. Universe was basically saying, you're not going to clear this easily. You know, no matter, and there was definitely a lot of little roadblocks that I went through, but that feeling that I had was like what you're experiencing right now. When I finally started really getting it clear and able to start doing things again, was like that warrior, you know, that warrior energy where there's nothing that can stop you, right?
Yeah.
And I commend you for that. And I'm going to try to piggyback off of that energy today, because I definitely felt like energy this morning that was trying to stop me, right?
Right.
So, but you asked, what were you going to say? You asked me.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask, because you're having, when you have existential doubts, and not in an abstract sense, but in particular today, you said you woke up feeling different. Like, does that affect, since I suppose we're sticking to a twin flame theme here on the event today, is there an aspect of your existential moment that relates to like doubting your twin journey, or having a different perspective than normal?
Definitely a different perspective, but let's face it. There's a lot of people that get hung up on the twin flame journey and what that means, and everybody has a different belief system of what it is. The truth of the matter is, whether you believe someone has a twin flame journey or not, we're all on a journey, right? So every single person on the twin flame journey is on a very important personal journey. And so my confusion that I have had recently isn't whether I have a twin flame. I know who my twin flame is. It was, am I going to be with my twin flame is in this lifetime?
That's a good one.
And and so I have totally accepted that, and I'm not manifesting that I won't, but I've accepted that I won't. At least in the moment, I'm not. And so it comes back to your warrior spirit thing, because I have these things, you know, the runes with the little rune book, and you pull a rune and it says something like, the journey of the warrior is always with the self, you know, so it's this battle with the self and the ego constantly, right? And what you were talking about with the humility, like any time that I go too far into ego, always the tower for ego is humiliation, right? So if you're living in humility, you will not be humiliated. If you're not living in humility, you're going to be humiliated. And the bigger ego that you have about it, the harder the humiliation is. And we watch people go through that all the time in life, right? So, but definitely, yeah. So I'm not really questioning the twin flame thing. I have been questioning what am I learning? What did I learn from my twin flame? What am I learning from my twin flame? And where is this going, right? Because when I first started the journey, obviously I was definitely going to be with my twin. Separation was never going to happen, right? I mean, that happens to all of us, right? We all think, no, you don't understand. I'm going to be with my twin. And,
most of us,
yeah. So,
well, so I guess, have you ever considered that it's up to you?
Well, I think it is. It's very tricky. I mean, like in the Matrix, right? Are we creating the Matrix, or are we just in it? And I think it's a little bit of both, right? Certainly I'm not missing my twin. I have done enough work that I really don't feel like I need my twin. I don't have to have a life with my twin. But that feeling of being more whole and complete within has definitely come from her. I mean, from my connection to her. And the self-worth stuff and the going into self-love and going into mission is like the biggest part of, like, the biggest help is doing mission work, is helping other people, right?
Yeah. Well, so, and I think that goes into 2020, getting properly on topic now, because we're now, to me, we're talking about 2021 now. And the reason why I say that is because it is both. It is both that the Matrix is a construct that is just here and was here before we got here, et cetera, et cetera. But As far as are we creating it, the answer is not only that. The answer is not only that it's both. It's something that's already here and something that we have profound ability to impact. But the answer is also that starting in 2021, especially and leading up into 2023 and 2024, it's going to be increasingly easier. It's going to be increasingly what I've heard some people call it the creatrix, not the matrix. Can you hear me over the church bell? Okay. So it's the creatrix, not the matrix. So like what's happening vibrationally speaking is that we're all getting to a point where we can more easily co-create, you know, and co-create with the universe and co-create our reality, and even co-create with our twin flame. And that's part of it connects to the moment I'm in as well, because on the other side of the little civil war that we are actually in, yes, it is true, we're in a civil war. It's not going to be an especially bloody one. It's not going to be an especially long one. It's going to be brief, but it is real. And then on the other side of that, it's going to be like the government systems. It's going to start here in America, and then after America, we'll spread it to Europe, right? Like the government systems, basically heavy thumbs and heavy hands are about to be taken off of us. And what that means is that, especially for us people who are spiritual, it means that like frustrating things that have frustrated our evolution, and even like I'm talking about like material things, you know, things that have made our evolution, all of our evolutionary process slower. It's not going to be there anymore. So it's going to be like a kid letting go of a helium balloon, you know, like we're going to be like going up, 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 and we're going to be going up, up, up rapidly. And, you know, and I was thinking in reference to my own twin journey, and I was thinking about a decade ago, I was given a vision of my twin and I staying separate until after the war, until after
Wow.
the big liberation event. And of course, back then we all thought it was going to happen in 2012, you know, but of course now we're here in 2020 and we're seeing that really what we thought was happening in 2012, it may have been energetically seeded then, but it seems to be manifesting now. And so like on the other end in 2021, I mean, 2021 to 2024 is going to be like rapid fire, positive, protonic energy development for all of us. Like we're all going to be in such a better, like more self-possessed state. And I think that that's going to like really alleviate the vibration of the planet itself. And what people don't understand is that as the energy and the vibrations get lighter, it's going to be easier and easier and easier for us to come together. Because part of the sickness that we are all processing, we're still processing it because it's still self-perpetuating. Like it still has real manifested actors here on the planet that are making it difficult. And so in 2021, I expect the biggest year yet for twin flame unions coming together. I don't know. Maybe mine as well. I don't really think about it like that anymore, to be honest. But it's just kind of like I just see that so much. I think so many twins made a soul contract to stay separate, so to help spread the energy around for as long as it needed to, and to have all of us connected to our various grid points and whatnot. And so people are going to be, twin flames are going to be free to come together because they will have satisfied whatever mission they were doing more so. And then just the shift in the energy is going to make it easier for us to be in each other's presence because we'll be able to withstand the vibration for longer periods.
Right. And, you know, it's really cool. You know, when you started getting to the really good stuff, those bells started going off. And it was just like one big, huge divine confirmation. It was really neat. Everything that you said during that time that I heard, I agree with. It is really a very, I mean, look at what's happening with this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which is happening on 12/21. And I believe in Arizona, it's happening at 11:22 a.m. This is something I've been seeing number of synchronicities, 12/21, 11/22, non-freaking stop. Even the last video that I did was a little bit about the numbers. And suddenly the other day, because I just went to, I don't want to get too far into this, but I just went to Sedona recently. I was guided to go to Sedona. Last year I went to the pyramids. I was guided to go to the sun and the moon pyramid. I meditated on both pyramids, and the pyramids actually have created their own masculine and feminine vortex. And when I was there, you could actually see the vortex, literally see it, because I think I told you about this before. These black and white butterflies were flying up the sides of the pyramids, and they were doing this vortex move. They were in the formation. Cool. It was amazing. And so then this year I was guided to go to Sedona. I was guided to go to a masculine and a feminine vortex, okay? And I
Right.
didn't even think about it, but now here's the thing. The year before, the pyramids, you know, Chiron and Jupiter are conjunct in my chart. That's why my healing is so pronounced, because
Right.
I have Chiron conjunct Jupiter in my 10th house, which is the highest point in that's in Aries. So when I went to the pyramids, at the moment that I was there, Chiron was trining the sun and the moon, and I was at the sun and the moon pyramid. So this year I was guided to Sedona, and I meditated on the masculine and feminine vortexes there, and it was very, very powerful. It was a lot of collective work that I was doing, and I just left there like a week ago, and all of a sudden I'm getting guided back, and they're telling me to go to a place called the Bridge. So I'm going to be going back on the 21st. I'm going to be going to the Bridge. I'll post some stuff on this, but it's, to me, having this conjunction is very symbolic of the change that's happening in the movement that you're involved in over there. I mean, we're talking about massive change within all structures, right?
Yes.
And
revolution. Revolution in more ways than one. Revolution and evolution at the same time.
And that is also multidimensionally happening. I mean, there's a multidimensional context to everything. What's happening internally is expressing itself externally all the time. So it's just really, really neat that you're doing that. And I wish that I was there also. So.
Oh yeah, well there will be more opportunities, yeah. So for that, yeah, and there's one thing that I wanted to sort of add to as like maybe a little bit of helping us with some of these things, and that is that like what I'm seeing a lot of now that I think is maybe in people's way with respect to this is, to be honest, I think we overthink. I think we think the words too much. Like, I think we think the words twin flame too much. Like we just, and it's like, I'm just sort of, I'm more focusing on my grounded life, right? And there still remains great esoteric alchemical things happening inside of me. And it's greater internal psychic communication, but it's also negotiating a return to physical communication. And it's to the point where we're psychically negotiating a date, a specific date and time now, and it's getting close. So it's kind of like the more I become myself and just, it's like, and I'm not going to say become myself, I'm just saying the more I just be myself, you know, I think a good message for 2021 is to focus on joy, focus on creating your happiest life. And I think that people will be surprised at how effective that is. And then for those of us who are in this business of being healers for our community, I would caution people to of course, always do your clearing of other people's energies, of course, even if they're higher twin flame people's energies, because if you're healing them, then you're not dealing with their highest aspects, you're dealing with the crud and the soot. And so keep yourself cleared, but also like kind of don't buy into don't buy into the bullshit and the key terms too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of over the key terms. I'm kind of over DM, DF, twin flame, mission, blah blah, union, blah blah. I'm just a dude living a life in a very difficult time. And yes, all those things are real. Like and I'm going to go further. I know I'm a twin flame. I know who my person is, and I know that we'll be together. But I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like what I care about is what's right in front of me, and what I love is what's right in front of me. And I just think that if more people just let go, and you can do this healing work, and yeah, you can do this healing work and help people with the healing without also then just thinking that this is the entirety of my identity. So now I got to dive full into it, and I got to get the accessories and the crystals and the blah blah blah. Not trying to crap on the previous speakers. I'm just saying you could also just be, like to answer that question about like, my relative is too Christian for my crystals. Like, okay, well, let them be over there, and then you be over here. And what you do with your crystals is up to you. It's just a reflection of your own light and your own power anyway, that you're choosing to express through your crystals, and that she's choosing to express through her religion and feeling empowered to be judgmental.
That's also a manifestation of resistance within the individual. So we have these people coming to us
Yeah.
and reflecting back to us aspects of ourself that we haven't resolved. And so every single person that's coming towards us, and especially things that we resist, right? Like if you don't want something to happen, it's going to happen, right? And so the universe is constantly going to bring that back to us until we resolve it. And resolving it means letting go, like you said. Like everything is about relinquishing control. As soon as we stop trying to control things, there's harmony. You know, I had a session recently. You can't push the river. You can't.
That's right.
You can drink from it or you can observe it, but you can't force any of it. You know what I'm saying? So
unburden yourself. Unburden yourself by it's like if you've turned the twin flame journey into an identity and a cyclical thought pattern, then you've done it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what it is.
That's where they're at. That's where they're at until they realize
certain people.
Different.
Some people are there. Yeah.
Some people are at that spot, right? Hey, and
I'm just saying, give yourself permission to seek joy.
Thank you. I'm going to do that.
And to everyone, it's for everyone. It's for you and for everyone.
Yep. And here it's 111 here. I just saw that.
Cool.
New beginnings. New beginnings.
So is it time for us to open up to questions?
Sure. Why not? Is that okay, Bertina?
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Please do, because they chatting it up over here on the side. Hold on. Let me see. Here's one I could grab. Not that one. It moved on me because y'all started talking. Be patient with me. I'm in my femininity. Okay, here we go. Well, they wanted to ask the question to you, Sean and David.
The ballot said that one.
Hold on a second. He's talking to somebody. Okay, Sean.
No, I'm here.
Okay, she's asking, are we supposed to, according to what you just said, and you and David, are we supposed to just do our own path and then the twin follows? Is that what? Is that
for me or for? Do you want me to answer that?
If we want to hit a DM brain, we picking your brain. So
I don't even think about it like that.
Or whatever brain.
I don't think about that. I just do. We're doing what's right in front of us.
Okay.
What the universe is bringing to us. We're not doing everything in our life to have union. I honestly don't even care about that. It's like the inner piece of finally not wanting her anymore is great for me. I'm happy to be whole and complete, right? With that lack energy of feeling like I don't have what I want so bad. And it took me like a year to get out of that. So I'm not even thinking about doing anything with the motive of any sort of union. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried about if she's following me or not either. So
yeah, the simple answer, if you need a simple answer to that question, is yes. The simple answer is yes. So that's how you do it. It's more of I think thinking lots of thoughts about your twin is not helpful. I think energetic connection is helpful. And I think that like deep light, because it's light body integration as well. It's like when you bring in your twin, you're bringing in yourself, you know? So like, it's really it's really the work, you know, like the actual physical meditation when your light bodies joining together and like just allowing the energy of your twin to come into you and their consciousness to come into yours like that. It's like you're doing both at the same time. But for me, it's both at the same time. The more I do that meditation and that energetic connection, the easier the path in front of me gets. You know, like the more synchronicities, the more things kind of fall into place. And as well, it's like the more I feel myself and live a reality of being my real self in the world and doing the stuff that's most meaningful to me now and satisfying my passion now, you know, that it just makes me feel really, it deconstructs the resistance in my mind to the twin and allows more space for that to come in because it's like an exhale, you know, it's like an inhale and an exhale as opposed to holding your chest tightly because you're being more natural. So that's, yeah, that was your long and your short answer.
You handled it beautifully. Just real quick before I find, because I know they asked a question for you, Sean. Do you have your own channel? YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've got one video up right now. I'm rebranding. So I've got one video of fresh content up, and there's more coming. There's just been so much going on, a lot honestly with job stuff, honestly. So there's been a lot to get in the way, but I'm working diligently on figuring out how to switch that up. It's probably going to be switching jobs ultimately, But no. So, but I will be making more content. In fact, I've had some requests for guided meditation, so I think those are going to be coming pretty soon.
You're gonna tell
What's
everybody
And
your
it's
child. You can tell everybody
no,
your
I'm not.
child's name.
No, in fact, I'm not. No, in fact,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I'm just kidding. It's actually that was a joke. Bertina looks concerned,
Your
like I'm
dry
serious.
humor.
Of my dry humor. Yeah. No, in fact, as a matter of fact, I just want you to psychically know this is your spiritual test. I want you to psychically know my channel. Everyone out there. No, it's Extropic Esoterica on YouTube and extropicesoterica.com.
Okay, yeah, I was concerned from a little brother. I was like, what?
Yeah, people are serious. Yeah, my sense of humor is very dry. Sometimes people don't know what I'm joking.
I got you. I got you. Okay, is there anything? She's talking to somebody else. Do you want me to ask? Okay, let me ask you all thing. She says she has a what we call again divine feminine who she's been trying to talk to. She says every time she wants to cut and walk away from the journey, talking old way talk. She says that her DM, okay, whatever's gonna be saying is gonna be great. Her DM keeps sending her songs, and she's like, it's hard for her to walk away. What is you all's advice on your all's end?
I don't understand one thing. How could you walk away from the journey? There's no way to walk away. We're all on a personal journey, and there is no walking away from it. We can reshape our minds. We can rethink different things. We can come up with new truths, find out new realities, but we're always on this journey. And so if we walk away from the twin flame journey, we're on a journey. We'll find ourselves right back there, right?
Right. Okay, that's your aspect. What's yours, Sean?
I still don't understand the question.
She wants the divine feminine. I'll talk the old talk because I know with you, I was trying to respect your new aspect of it. With that, well, she's a divine feminine. She wants to move forward. She's like, there's a lot of things that's not coming together for her. And so as she moves forward and she kind of does things to kind of push him in the background, she says her heart keeps on being sending songs and synchronicities is popping up all over the place. And she wants to know what's the advice. The Sunshiner wants to know what kind of advice can she give her about this.
It's the twin flames higher self that's sending herself, not actual like text messages and DMs and stuff. This is like psychically you're being sent this stuff.
Right.
You open up and accept that and listen to the message, and that might be giving you the clue as to what you're supposed to do. But what I would say is that if you're not moving forward, it's entirely your fault. It has nothing to do with your twin flame. If you're stagnating, if you're feeling stuck, that's a you problem, and and I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's really in an empowering way because it's a you problem. It means that you can fix it. So I don't put yourself in a holding pattern. If you're thinking about if you're into the boy and girl of it too much, if you're into the waiting by the telephone too much, if you're into the it's not even that you're investing mental energy in your twin, really. You're investing mental energy in your codependent patterning. Like you're investing energy in your own toxic template. So just stop doing that. Like live your life and if you can start feeling gratitude for your twin now. Start feeling as though you're already together now, and then just go out there and live your life and live your best life and be happy,
Right. I'm sorry. April, did you say you put a question in the feed or you're talking to somebody else? I can't really tell what's happening with that. Okay. I'm gonna give her a couple of minutes, and I know Sean he's on the go. I'm trying to see.
I'm good. I got a few more minutes.
Okay,
I got a few more minutes.
Okay, because I'm like, I want to respect this time too. And she does great going into herself. Okay, I'll put it up here. She says that she does great going into herself, but then those signs come up from him. And that's what kind of, I guess it makes him. She says she feels the sexual feeling too. She got that Marvin Gaye going on, that sexual healing. And it kind of trips her up.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
I love that. I wish, there's nothing wrong with feeling sexual energy, right?
Yeah, and figure out what, like, it's a part of our ascension here is learning how to control energy. So your challenge then is to learn how to control that energy, and I would say pull it up, pull it up from the nether regions up into your higher chakras to further illuminate your light body and further like grow closer to spirit. Like that's what you do with that sexual energy, and don't get caught up over how it's getting generated. Like maybe he's out there being a man whore, maybe he's not. Like don't overthink it. But just you do what you need to do with that energy that's going to best serve your interest and your path. And then as far as like the messages, quote unquote, listen to it, and if it changes your mind about anything, then whatever. But you can also just let it go. And sometimes your twin will psychically put requests through you or things that they want you to do. You do have the right to say flip off. Like if it's crossing your personal boundaries, like you don't have to continue receiving that if you don't want to, and you don't have to do anything with it that you don't want to do it. So listen to the messages and just be thankful for them. That's the best advice, and be thankful that that this is still real and active, and it's actually still in motion for you. And then take that energy and redirect all the energy toward your development.
Okay. Even last thing, and now I'm gonna let you go. And then she says she even feels her friend feels penetration too.
Yeah, she's
Awesome.
allowed to set an energetic boundary there, because she's feeling her twin have sex with other people. So she needs to, at this point, she's got to set an energetic boundary there and say that that's not allowed to come into my experience anymore.
Wow.
So y'all kept prodding. I'll give it to you if you want it. I mean, y'all kept prodding that same situation. I'm just gonna let you know that's what it is.
I love that.
y'all kept pushing it. That's what it is. And that's what you had to hear.
I know. He's like the other part of me.
Right.
In the middle body.
I don't know what to say. We can start walking toward from there if you got to pee that bad.
No.
Okay.
Thank you so very much, Sean and
Was
David.
that all the questions?
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so very much for coming on and giving you all's wisdom about what's going on as far as our adventure, wherever we want to call it, the journey, the twin flame, becoming divine, becoming whole, whatever it is. Thank you so very much for giving you all's perspective. It's always a blast to talk to both of you all. Sean keeps it real. He keeps it 100. And David always comes with that soft thing, but it's still right there. He's like a quiet ride. Bam, I hit you. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Sean.
I love you guys. I love you guys. I love everybody on the call. Much positive energy. 2021 is going to be the best year yet. So I'm so excited for all of us.
Yes. Thank you
Have
so
a great
much.
day.
Have a great
Bye.
one.
Y'all take care. Much love. Bye.
Okay. All right, then. Well, we got a real treat coming in here, Kathy D. We done had a lot of talking. So what she's going to do, we're going to break up all this talking thing, and we're going right on into her next thing, which she's going to give us a nice energy work session. Kathy D has got outside. We got all this outside thing. Make me feel like I need to go outside. No, I'm not in the shot because it's not that bright. It's out here. So I got Kathy D. I'm going to put her into the stream. Okay. All right. Whoa, woo. She ready. Okay. Never. She ready.
You told me to be ready.
She ready. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Hold on a second. I want to move. You're here. Wait a second. I want no stuff. Okay. Yeah, okay, and I'm gonna go out. It's all yours. I'm dropping the mic. TikTok.
All right. So we had the weather interrupt us to begin with, but we're going to now do the burning ritual that we talked about earlier today. What that is I want you guys just where you are. I want you to, it's wet here, so I got to stick the papers under my arm. I want you to close your eyes. Let that golden light go through your body from the top of your head. Just feel it filling your whole entire body. It's going down through your face, down your neck. Now it's hit your shoulders and it's flowing down through your hands, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Feel that golden light going out your fingertips. Now it's moving down through your body, through your legs, all the way down to your feet, and now out your toes. Now we're going to breathe in nice and slow to a count of 4. Hold it. Release it. We're going to do that again, but this time when you breathe it in, I want you to breathe in this beautiful golden light that's all around you, breathing in more. Hold. And release. And as we release, I want you to envision this beautiful, almost like gray smoke coming out. All of this negative self-talk that you've been told, either told yourself or been told by other people about you. So here we go one more time. In. Hold. And blow it out. One more time. Last time. Breathe it in. Hold. And breathe it out. And now we're going to take all those negative things that we want to get rid of, that we don't need anymore, like not needed. And you say, universe, I give you this to transmute, to change, to help others, because I no longer need it. That you're too old. That you're too short. You're not pretty enough. Running from the smoke. You're not picked first. Old saying in South Carolina, smoke follows beauty. So you're second best. You're not seen. You're not heard. And we're just going to let those burn out. And you're going to say, so it be. I released these thoughts into the universe. And now we're going to take these things that we desire and that we deserve. And I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be heard. Ouch. I deserve to be the first choice. I deserve to love myself. I guess that's one I got to work on. There we go. I deserve to care for myself.
I think the loving self is an ongoing thing we all need to focus on.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why that one's going so slowly. I deserve to be able to follow my dreams. I deserve to be abundant. Woo, that one went fast. And I deserve to be loved unconditionally.
Does everybody see how the wording is still on there, even though they've all gone up? I don't know if you guys can see that. See the wording is still on there? Just because it's burning up doesn't mean it's gone anywhere but up to source and out to the universe where it needs to be heard.
And as they finish burning, we now take a moment and we thank divine, source, God, the angels for handling this, for putting our desires out into the universe, that they may handle them better than we do, that things may be taken care of and put to good use as needed with divine timing, divine energy, and unconditional love. And so it be. And that is the burning ritual. Now, once this is done and everything's cooled off and able to be touched, you take these ashes and you bury them. If you don't have anywhere to bury them, if you're having to do this inside, I suggest smaller pieces of paper, of course, and get a pot and a plant and potting soil and mix that in and plant seeds in it. So beauty grows from your desires and what you release. You can even do it where you can plant a flower. You can plant vegetables. You can plant herbs. Think of it as literally being able to eat your words. You're consuming your desires and you're releasing what you don't want. There are different ways to do this. If fire is absolutely not an option, it takes longer, but you can take it and dissolve the paper in water. Water will transmute it as well. You can go then pour it into a lake, pour it into any kind of body of water that you have, an ocean, a river, whatever, and give it back to the universe. Another way to do it, if you're just feeling like you need to do some inner child work, you can dissolve that paper, and it takes even longer to do this, but really dissolve it down till there's really nothing there. It takes about a week to get it to totally dissolve. Add a little dish soap to the water, and then go blow bubbles with it and release it into the universe. But this is a really good way. And as you see these things start coming back up, when you start feeling these things again, you need to go back and reburn them. And sooner or later, you're going to get tired of burning them. And you're going to release them. As it said, ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay. Yeah. Did I mute my mic? Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay. What are, since I got you thinking, we still got a little time left. What are some, you gone? Okay.
No, we're here.
Okay. What are some other things that we can do? Let's say we say, well, we can't burn like that. What are some other activities that we can do, especially going into the year 2021? Most of the time we have that burning of things. What are some other things that kind of get rid of energies that we no longer that we can do too?
You can just tear up the paper.
Okay.
Any kind of destruction. You can tear it up. Like I said, you can soak it in water.
Okay.
You can, put it through a paper shredder. If you got a paper shredder, put it through a paper shredder. And if you know somebody with a hamster, let them have at it.
The condensation on the mirror, like when you get out of the shower, write it down.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Bonita just came up with write it on your mirror when you get out of the shower.
Okay.
And the condensation, you write it in the condensation, and then as it dries, it's gone.
Ooh,
just make sure you use a clean mirror and then clean your mirror afterwards, because sometimes your oil from your fingers will leave it on there.
Oh, wow. I like that. So that's almost like the elements. So there you got your fire, you got your air, and you said water. You can do something with water too.
And you can also always just tear up the paper. And if you're able to, either bury it outside if you can't burn it, or you can, put it in a flower pot. It'll mulch down.
Right. Okay.
Turn it into compost, but turn it into something that's going to be good.
Good. Okay. So let me ask this, and I might be picking up from the collective too. What if you got like a very zealous mind? I'll put it that way. And that you keep burning and burning, and it's still there. So what do I do to Jedi mind trick? I done burned so many each month. I'm picking up this person. I burned so many times and done that each day, and it's still there. What do I do?
Well, you need to then go back and sit down and journal about what you keep burning.
Okay.
Because there's a deeper level. There's something connected to that. It's not the thing at that point that you are trying to release. There's something that triggers.
Okay.
So if it's, say, not being heard, and you have burned that and burned that and burned that till you're just sick and tired of burning it, you can't stand it, but it still keeps coming up, then it could be a childhood wound. It could be an abandonment thing if you don't feel you're being heard.
Okay.
So it could be a childhood trauma. And please, everybody think childhood trauma has got to be something horrible, awful, terrible. You have to understand, as a child, the minute things can be traumatic when they happen over and over and over again.
I like that. Okay.
So we have to, if your parents both worked hard and they're tired and they just wanted to talk about their day and they plopped you in front of the TV, that's not bad. But when they plopped you in front of the TV and then you wanted to come tell them something and they didn't have time for you over and over again, that's where the not being heard can come from.
Okay.
And then it can be triggered on to, well, whoever I date never hears me, or they didn't understand what I said. And there's where miscommunication, because you didn't have open communication as a child.
Okay, so they need to kind of go at that aspect to start dealing with the childhood wound. So again,
Right.
shameless plug, you need to get a couple of my videos for childhood wounds too as well.
Most definitely.
After that, if you can, and do the workbook. And then the next thing would be, again, to go to Kathy D and say, I need maybe to talk it out, and she'll come up with some kind of great mental exercise that she can do to help you to kind of get out of that. Because I know some of the clients I have, they're like, I tried it, but my mind keeps on. And how do you deal with people? Like, you think you didn't, and it's people that's still in it, and you didn't told to pray for you to burn it, but the people are still showing the same behavior. Somebody just throw that at me. So what do you do then?
That's when you check your boundaries.
Okay.
Because if they're still getting in, then there's something where you are letting it, and at that point you feel like you deserve it. And remember that you're only a victim once. Every other time after that, you're a volunteer. So we have to be mindful of that. And there are some times that at that point, once you've journaled, once you've done your workbook and all that stuff, and then it's time for hypnotherapy, because there are things that we've blocked out as kids.
True.
That, well, I don't remember anything like that. I don't remember. But when you go into that, when you're led into that, because you're completely and totally in control, and especially there are different forms of hypnotherapy, but the one I happen to use, you are awake. So you can have a conversation. You can talk about these things. Things come freely. You see things that you hadn't seen before in a different perspective. And I'll ask you questions like, think back to a time when you weren't heard. How old were you? Where were you? What was going on? And those times when you're in that relaxed trance state, it comes out, and then you're like, oh, I didn't realize that. So, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anybody that hasn't needed some form of this deeper hypnotherapy. I mean, to know that you can unlock I'm chasing the sun here. You can unlock that part of your mind, and get those answers. And that's the whole thing. It's not magic. We're not doing any kind of voodoo. You're not going to cluck like a chicken. But you are opening your higher self to have a conversation with your 3D self, and the knowledge you get.
There may be some things that will not self. No.
Good point. Yeah, Benita just said there are some things that your higher 3D self or your higher 5D self has handled, and it won't let your 3D self remember or get to.
That's when you just gotta release it and say, okay.
And that's when you just have to release it and say, okay, that's good. When you've done the work, it goes back to that picking the scab. There's some things you just have to, and that might be one of them, not being heard, and you just need to let go of that and make sure that you are heard, not in an annoying way and repeating yourself a gazillion times or things like that, but make sure that, you put worth in what you say, and others will too.
Right. Okay. What Benita's saying, she's saying something golden back there. I can feel it.
She said, and that's where affirmations come in.
Right. Yes. That's what I was saying about the affirmations. How you could be able to use that affirming. I know, especially you all said for me, and I know it's a couple of people that I know that I've dealt as clients too, when you got those different mental things. Again, doing it, you gave me a lot of suggestions of how you can do the affirmations. Let me turn it over to you, and then I'll chime in if it's something that I know. But what are some forms of some good things for affirmations to really change and shift? And for those of us that maybe have a little zealous mind, what would be some good things for you that you Jedi mind master? How can we be able to do that?
Well, one of the best ways to do it is to do it in a 3-cycle phase.
Okay.
You start with a past,
Mm.
and then you move to the present, and
Okay.
then you move to the future. And that sounds a little odd. And people are like, well, why don't I start with the future and move back? No, you start with the past because that's where you're the most comfortable. Remember all your emotions, the way you're feeling, the way things are going to happen. You know, oh, well, when he calls, he's just going to up and ghost me again because he always does. Well, when you're making phrases like that, you're in the past.
Okay.
And your past then confirms what your future is, because when he does call, then you're afraid because you haven't released it. So we start with the past. You know, I am, I have always been heard. When I was younger, I was heard. And then you'd move it to today, I am heard clearly and understood. And then tomorrow, or for, you know, in the future, people, you know, recognize me for what I say because they always hear what I say. So as we move it on, once you get through that past part and then you put it into the present, because that's where you are, we've got to be in that mindful state. You know, what happens right in front of us is what we've got to deal with. And then in the future, when we add that positive to it, then it makes the most sense to our subconscious because, okay, well, yeah, I guess we have, you know, been heard in the past. And yes, we are being heard now, and we will be heard in the future.
Okay. Okay. Good, because that's what I was trying to see. Is there, well, we got just a little bit of time. Is there anybody else that asked a question? I was channeling from somebody in there that was asking questions. But is there any questions for Kathy D, especially about how can you do to shift, I call it the physical thing, through writing and through communications in your mind, how you can shift anything? Is there any questions for her, or how you can do that to eliminate energies that you no longer serve you to?
Well, and one thing, let me say this too, while you
Okay.
guys are coming up with your questions.
Mhm.
Communication. Communication is probably the most important thing you can have with anyone and everyone, be it your children, be it your divine counterpart, your soulmate, whoever. You have to communicate. And I think from, you know, being on my adventure as long as I have, I have learned so many things from so many people, and we all come down to the same thing. We didn't communicate with our divine, you know, our partners. We didn't express what we needed to express. We didn't tell them what we needed to tell them because we let fear get in the way of what happened in the past.
Right.
Also, remember, when they're coming back, they're not the same person they were when they left. And we aren't.
True. True. Very good. Very well on that. Okay, Dorothy Kelly say, no, it's good. So good. Thank you so very much. So thank you so very much, Kathy D, for that.
You are very welcome.
Came up there as sporadic. See, you know, I work with the best. They know how to say, hey, wait for wings. I need you to come back on and do an activity. It's enough talking. Let's break it up. And she's like, sure. As long as the sun is cooperating, I can go
Yeah,
out.
and look at that beautiful blue sky that came out for you guys. That beautiful Florida sky.
Look at that Florida sky. Whoa.
Get some.
Oh my God. Hold on a second. Let me hold on a second. Let me put you big. Hold on a second. I hope I don't mess myself up. Let me take my.
I don't know what she did. I think she muted herself, but that is the beautiful Florida sky when it wants to show itself. Probably the greatest thing about growing up down here was being able to find the shapes and the forms in the clouds. If you've never done that, if you didn't do it as a kid, I highly recommend one day on a beautiful sunny day, get somewhere. Don't stare directly at the sun. Okay. We all know that, but go find the shapes in the clouds. It's amazing what they'll tell you.
Beautiful, beautiful. I see. Look like it's a man right there. Look like he got like a cape on, looking like Superman on top of a surfing board.
Yep, I see that.
Right there, surfing like he's surfing. Is that the DM say I'm surfing? I'm surfing I'm surfing. I'm surfing the clouds, the energies, the waves. I'm surfing. That's why he look like he's doing like this. Collarbone. Wow, interesting. I will do that next time.
Yep, it's beautiful and it's so much fun.
It is, it is, it is beautiful. Thank you so very much, Kathy D, and your lovely assistant, Benita, as well, holding and doing the camera work. Thank you. While you were burning things up, please make sure that you have your when you do it at home. Don't do it kiddies by yourself. Make sure you have an adult supervisor right there by your side as you're doing it. So yes, thank you so very much again. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Mwah. And
Yeah.
love you. I'm gonna get on there. I'm a soul sister too. All right. So thank you. All right then. So now we're moving into my little segment. I was like the rest of them was saying I had a whole presentation ready for you guys. And then I'm not unmuted, am I? Okay. I had a whole presentation ready for you all. And then I was like, Spirit had woken me up early this morning with a dream, because I told you I dream of twin flames. And so with this dream was helping to understand my subject, which was I'm going to talk about, which is who am I? So what I'm going to do is twofold. I'm going to finish out the presentation, but what I'm going to do is when I finish it out, I'm going to send it to you all as a bonus, as an extra, as a workbook. So you all can do just like I do the for the childhood wounds workbook as well. So you'll be able to get your own copy of that. And then the rest of it, if anybody else you think that is great and you want to share with other people who are on a journey of being divine, you can be able to give them the divineunisouls11.co. And so you can be able to do that. I forgot. Let me shout out again. And if you're interested, it just hit me. Stop. My business mind is clicking. I'm hearing clicking in. Remember, if you want some for pineapplefishlifecoaching.com again, and I got Waver the Beautiful. If you liked what she gave in the meditation, she's talking about the hypnotherapy too as well. Forgive me because I'm trying to do 3 hats at the same time. Make sure you go to Pineapple Fish Life Coaching. She's got something going on here for the holidays to help you to get your mind right about that. And I think I even have also a wave of, don't I have her? I thought I had Wave of a Beautiful Warrior. I did. Here, I think this is hers. I hope I ain't giving somebody else's address out. Is that hers? Divine Light Rising? I don't know. Would shoot me on my email if I got the wrong one up there. I'm not too sure, but I think that's Benita's. Hers is up here as well. So you can be able to contact her if you want some more information about family as well. If not, shoot me an email, a text, Benita, so I can put the right one in email for you too as well. Okay. All right. So let me take that out because Spirit is like, you got to shout them out. I forgot to seal them out as well and tell them. So right now is amen to everybody that says, and I think in some ways what I'm going to bring and talk to you about is pretty much a combination of everything. So just like what Sean had stated earlier, and I'm in agreement with that, with us on this twin flame journey and even David, we're at a point that we really don't know exactly what's going on, which way is up. And we're at a point that some of us are questioning as far as where we are, what we should be doing. And it's making us really think to ourselves, like, who am I? Who am I actually? What am I identifying as right now? You heard Sean say earlier, he says that I'm right now at the point I'm at, hey, I ain't even thinking about being labeled as a divine masculine or a divine feminine. Okay, thank you. Okay. At all. So, and again, we on this journey, and I think we're going to collectively get there. And I think April also has talked about that and spoke about that too, is that we are trying to redefine and help each other understand that the divine masculine is now the alpha energy, the divine feminine is the omega. But Sean has always stated that, you know what, these labels and these things are confusing things. On top of that, we have our 3D. We almost like, I guess in some ways, Spirit was trying to tell me, it looked like the man was on a surfing board, but he reminded me of Superman too, like flying up there. And so again, we have, just like Superman, we have 2 identities. We have the divine one, and we have the one in which we do as far as in the 3D. We have the 5th D, 5th dimension, and we have the 6th dimension. And so again, we have 2 identities. We have the divine one, and we have the one in which we do as far as in the 3D. We have the 5th D, 5th dimension, and we have the 6th dimension. and the 3D expression of ourselves, of who we are. So sometimes we find ourselves like Clark Kent, trying to amass or free ourselves into our divineness. And where we are right now on this journey, some of us are still questioning, what is Source requiring of me? What does Source want me to do? And I want to kind of layer it back before we even get into talking about going into 2021. I believe, and Source has been talking to me several times, saying that in order for us to know where we're going, we got to know truly who we are. And some of those things are layered with so many things, not only about how we are moving and having our being in the 3D, but also how we are moving and being even as divines. So forget the labels of divine masculine and divine feminine. How do we move and have our being as divines too? Okay, make sure. So I had a dream this morning, and I've been doing a lot of past life regression sessions with people like family and friends and clients and people that I don't know. And I know in the twin flame community, the question mark about past lives is really something that is controversial. A lot of divine ones that call themselves divines, some of them don't adapt and understand how the past lives really play a part to who we are. So even if we don't believe, and let's take past lives regression off the table and saying about being reincarnated, as far as Queen of Sheba or Cleopatra or whatever, we can even say when I do my regression sessions with clients, majority of them, when they sit down, they're talking about this life. What does that say to us as far as who we are? That this life is what is important. This life is like the denouement of everything. Like when reading, when it's coming, click, 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 it's going up to the top and it's right there. And then we're getting ready to, as we used to say on the playground, we're getting ready to take that roller coaster ride. We can decide either we're going to have our hands up or we're screaming for dear life, like, oh no, or we're doing one of the two, whichever way that we accept the journey and how it goes about and have its movement of its momentum. So when we're talking about also that and understanding the whole totalityness of it of past lives, and rather we say it's back then or past experiences, it is important that we understand to know our identity as to who we are right now. But at the same time, we've got to talk about how in the past, as you've seen Kathy D talked about, the past is also playing a part with the present, which is also playing a part with the future. And understanding how she stated that we have to go from the past to the present to the future, how we got to link all that good stuff up. So I had a dream, and I had been saying to myself, I said, when I do my past life regressions with people, to me, when they're doing the energy work, I'm doing energy work with them. I'm helping to heal them. And I say, oh my God, I wish I had me somebody, I'm just saying just as good as me, that was doing this, because I'm thinking when I'm doing my past regression sessions, it is really powerful. People come back saying I'm peaceful. It's different. I didn't walk from that laying in the bed the way I came in. The way I came in the place is not the way I left. So I had a dream, and it took me back into past life. Now, going back to what April has said about these ancestors, again, allow your ancestors to come and teach you about how you can be able to move forward into the future, or how to even deal with things in the present. That helps you to understand who you are too as well. Where everybody knows I talk about my dad dearly on this show, about how he's passed on and he's taken on to be an ancestor guide with me. Nobody, they know how hard-headed I am. Nobody can talk to me and get to me but him. And I think that's why he made an agreement to pass to be the one that passed before my mom, because he's like, okay, I can do it. You know, if it's between her and I'll be the one that will do it. So he has now showed me through a dream here lately, and I shared it with David. And he, in the dream, and this is a past life regression that I have, is that I was a young lady that was in Africa. And my father was very popular as a person. I thought he was pretty much like a fighter. As I was raised with my father and seeing him kind of move and being and become famous in Africa, and this is in the 50s. Now, this is where we talk about these dimensions. Now, my dad was born in 33. I was born in 72. In 50, he's already existed in some kind of way. I could have been able to, but we got so many layers and dimensions of how past lives or things or dimensions of who we are and how we spread, because we are, as divines, really are multifaceted. And I can understand why Sean said you can't really just break it down to just one label. That just really does not label and tell who we are as far as our identity. So here I am back in the 50s as a little girl, maybe about in my teens. My father is going up to, is with those African cars that they had, those weird kind of makes and models they have only over Africa. We don't have it here. And I could see my dad going up to the manager, and his manager, and I knew who he was, and his manager had his hand out of the car and was getting ready to slide my father some type of drug. Now, my dad doesn't drink. He didn't drink. I mean, he did drink, but he didn't sound like my brother. But he didn't take any hardcore drugs. So this is, again, a past life thing he's playing the role to help to garnish me and to really usher me in so I can get an understanding. I go from that into another, going back into the home. My father, this next scene it takes me through, he's so strung out that he's upset because I stopped him from getting his drugs. He proceeded to, where it was a doorway, they had like beads. And with the beads there, he kept on saying, I'm going to take these scissors and I'm going to cut the beads from this doorway that he has there. And I put my hand there and I told him, no, if you're going to cut something, Daddy, cut me. And I could see him taking the scissors and just like cutting my arm. I proceed to go into the house, and we go into the living room, which is off from the kitchen. And he's strung out. He's got like no shirt on, underwear. That's it. And I go into the living room and to the dining room, and it's this big table there. And as I'm at the big table there, he is walking around just like really out of his mind because he can't get his drugs and he's strung out. And so I tell my dad, you know what? I start saying words of affirmations to him. I am strong. I heard that earlier with April. I am strong. You are powerful. You are that. He started chanting and repeating after me. I am strong. I am powerful. I am that. He kept on saying that. The scene changes to next. He starts to calm down. And then next it moves into this way it gets a little more graphic, where it's got two white boxes with dead rats in them. And I can see them in water, but they're white boxes. And I don't know what was in there to make them die. They just were floating there. And there's a bunch of them just floating in water, this small rectangular boxes, rectangular prisms actually on both sides. And I looked and I woke up. And then when I woke up from the dream, I yelled this yell of everything, purging everything out from that life. Now, I fast forward and bring you to why did that spirit or my higher self, because that's most of the time where Kathy D is talking about these sessions where we do past life regressions and we bring you back in your higher self. And it's a purpose for why that was shown to me as a past life. It wasn't more a dream, it's past life. That as a divine feminine energy within me, I've always found myself being a person who was trying to save. the masculine. Some of that stuff is kind of playing out even in today. I got confirmation playing out today with the dynamics of not only myself as the divine feminine, but also divine feminines as well, us collectively. I didn't know coming up, even fast forwarding now, how my voice was such a powerful instrument to be used. Now, I love my mom, and growing up, she wanted to make sure that, again, for me having that Aries way, that my words were kind of like, it was kind of cut like a knife, you know. And she tried to train my mouth to be able to speak in a way that she thought that, again, if I get out to the world, I wouldn't be able to have friends. Now, that is one aspect of what's happening to me is identity of who I am now. But then I thought about it when I had that dream. What happened to that little girl when she's back there in the past? Some kind of way she felt that her words were so powerful and healing, but I guess at the same time, she might have been scared. That was her truth. She's like, no, daddy, don't take the drugs. No, dad. And she's trying to heal him at the same time. And there's that conflict. In some way within me, I feel also, although I'm here and I'm learning how to speak my truth now in the present, having the YouTube channel, how it has helped me say that, you know what, when I speak my truth, I heal. So that's another way of saying how our past and our present and our future, how now where I've found understanding the keys of where I am, even in my past, is growing up, how my mom tried to shelter me from my voice and how I said things because I cut people with the truth. And now how Spirit is saying, but that gift, I needed it. It has a way to heal it. And for me to have that past regression, helped me to now open up that heart space and understanding that, hey, my voice matters. And so when I'm saying about now how Spirit is now pushing us and revealing to us in different ways about as we go into 2021, I'm asking you also too to kind of look and see what ways have you smushed down your talents because of maybe past life, past experiences in childhood, because some of those things there, they have to come up to be healed. And it's a connection about the past life, this life all together. And I guess what my whole lesson is again, is to speak my voice. And so we have to understand that all of the experiences that we have now help to identify who we are. But at the same time, in some kind of way, something got lost. And it's time for us now, where we are, Spirit is saying, we helping you to find it. That's where in steps your divine partner or divine counterpart, because the counterpart can also, it's not so bad. They always have a fight with the guys and say counter is not bad. That means they're moving you in a different direction that you want to go. You know, it ain't really that bad, but it depends on, you know, I guess with me, it's like, and it's like, no, that's not what it means too. But it can be. It depends on how you look at things. And so understanding how we have awakened. We've heard also in some ways that, again, karma has ended. I think some of us are still kind of resonating and dealing with that karma as well, as far as like, okay, what do I do? What do I do at this point here? And going back to Kathy D and Benita saying, it's not even the soul family also that's coming along to help you, but also Source is also going to start bringing you things to help you to say, hey, you're missing this, or this needs to be cleaned, or this needs to be cleared out too, to help you to truly understand who you are. And so some things, again, that I want to say about this as far as us looking for healing. I said about the childhood wounds, but as I was doing one of my sessions with one of my clients, we really, and that's why I got Patricia that's going to come on after me about this body. a lot of things also as to who we are. And I love Patricia, because if you watch her channel, Twin Flames Merge, she's always talking about, hello, I'm Patricia McNeely from Chicago, and I am a Blu-ray twin. You know, she'll always introduce who she is. And her thing is also about the body and how there's a connection to it. I did one session and one the past life thing, and her higher self was healing her and stating that now where we are, and I know with the ascension that's happening and all these different planetary things, and that was wonderful how Sean talked about the Jupiter and Saturn, and also David chimed in. All of these energies are now also playing a part as far as in our lower chakras too. And probably Patricia either chime in or go a different direction. But right now, knowing who we are and our identity, that is showing up in our lower chakras. We're having, some of us are experience those experiences there in those lower extremities there. And that's another thing that's letting us know, who am I? That's something, again, your body is signaling to you, okay, before you go into 2021, I think you maybe need to handle this. This is your body's way of signaling to you. You kind of still don't have these areas down. And we know that the lower ones is the root, the sacral, and the solar. Okay, those are the ones that really help us to house that energy, aware who we are, right there in those places too, as well. And it was interesting that when I did the work with her, she stated that she was clearing, her higher self would say she was clearing unwanted energy. She kept on pushing it this way, unwanted, unwanted. And April probably could chime in and say, what was she doing? She was pushing it out that way, like she was giving birth to something or getting out of her. But what I heard was two things. Unwanted was energies that's no longer that suit you, that's been housed right here in our body. We're taking that in. But I also felt unwanted, some kind of way through abandonment, rejection, judgment, exploitation. All of that energy is being housed right here in this place. And so that makes me think about, again, how are we housing those energies in our body? And we know April talks about that too, but I think also as we close out 2020, Spirit wants us to really work. I'm being channeled to that we need to really work and pay attention, especially to those areas and how they need to be unblocked or unclogged or whatever it is. You can see April Williams for that too as well, to help you with their energies to be able to move that, because that's, again, that's a great piece of our identity. And I'm being very much guided that in order for us to know where we're going, and like the African proverb saying, Kofa, you got to go to the past, snatch back the past to bring it up to the present. And in order for us to be able to do that, we need to also do the work of clearing this area too, to help us to understand what our true identity is. Some of the lower chakras, they were saying that we're dealing with is all here, housed there is the fear, the safety, the anger, the security. So the root chakra is the foundation. The sacral is your expression. Your navel also is your life path. And your solar is your personal will and courage. So taking those things and those understanding that the dream and how we play a part as divine feminine energies collectively, finding our voice is one way. When we're talking about with the divine masculine, some of us taking the energies of being able to be that healing balm for the divine masculine, understanding the power that we actually have over them. And that's why, again, we're being chosen as divine feminine energies to be in that leadership or in that driver's seat. But understanding that too, as far as how does that also play a part on us in our spirit in the now? Are we really truly taking care of ourselves right now? Are we truly, as Sean's saying, being? And some of those things that's going on is as far as who our identity, who we are, have a lot to do, again, with the childhood, what's happening in the present, past experiences, And he just said, and Spirit saying, it's just fear too. So we're getting ready to rebirth ourselves. And I really am giving you all the challenge to say, what are you going to rebirth? What is the new identity that you need to be rebirthing in yourself before you go into 2021? Because there are great things that are happening for 2021. There are things that, again, the first 3 months, as I said again, just in case you did not see it even on mine, and I'm glad to see Sean piggybacked on that, which is the first 3 months is just us getting kind of like settling in. The 4th and the 5th month is going to be clear for takeoff. I'm seeing them showing me like the airport, and we're getting ready to take off. And then from that point on, the 6th and the 12th month, 6th through the 12th, we're taking off. So in order for us to be able to have clearance or be ready to take off, and to ascend to go, like Southwest Airlines said, you're now free to fly, move about the country, because hopefully, again, with everything that's happening in 3D with the COVID, that'll be gone, and we will have movement. Again, we need to make sure that within ourselves as to who we are, where are we going? Okay, so do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? So you need to ask yourself that. Do you like it? And again, you are as my dad always says, you are the architect. Again, look at if you're still questioning about some of the things that don't have answers to and why you do the same things over and over again, you can hit Kathy D. If you live in the Chicagoland area, you can get me for past life regressions as well. Because I'm telling you, there are such understanding, as it's almost like an overlay as to why you're doing things unexplainable, and it will help you to really truly understand who you are. Your past, your present, and your future are all linked in together. And taking a look at your history, also allowing your ancestors, they're really here. Make sure that you are calling on them. They are here to assist you to go to the next level. Do not leave out your ancestors. I know we put a lot of big emphasis on angels and their role, but again, they are such a very big role and a very big part. I call them like a secret weapon that don't nobody know, that they know what's happening. And for, like I said, with my dad to bring me that dream, and again at the end I forgot to phase out. He phased out, and then I seen who I truly was in my past life, and I seen how he truly was too. He was tall, I'm short. My dad is short, so I was light complexion, and he was light complexion and tall and skinny. Well, my dad was skinny, but he was short. And then I was that, and I could tell. I said, "Oh," so I seen who I was back then in life. It is such a great thing when you can use your ancestors as your guide to help you, because they do it in such a loving way to help you to actually know what is needed for this life to help you grow, and so you can know for the next. So this is our rebirth. This is our calling for us to give birth to something new. And just like Sean said, once you give birth to something new, then that's going to have your counterpart or your divine person to do that. But in the meantime, just be. That's all. Follow your bliss, what you actually want, and just be. So that is the end of my things. Hey, Twin Flame. Okay, hi. I am winding down. Is there any questions for me as far as what, again, about us and how we need to be and how our past? Because I think I wanted to bring in about the past and how that's also helping us to, again, Earth Star 10th chakra. Oh, okay. Is the Earth Star the 10th chakra? I don't know. I'm not familiarized. I know it's more than 7. Well, I know what you told me was like 29. I'm just playing. Chakras that's out there. Okay, Patricia, you on the other end. You need to come into the because I know I gave you that one. You need to come into the actual. Let me send this to you. To the actual back here, so you can be backstage. Because you're not on the right one. Let me make sure your StreamYard, yeah. That's for tonight. Yeah, not on the right one. Hold on 1 second. You know, I got to play both things and I got to stop the channeling. Okay, where's the first one? Tonight, StreamYard, that's old. Okay. Is she on her way? Let me see. I see it. Here it is. Copy the link. No, I want you to copy the link. I don't want you to put me onto that. Okay, copy. Translation merge. Also, this part in that lets me know Dad is here. Twin flame. Excuse me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that is pretty much it on that my thing. Also while I'm waiting for it to kind of connect over there and there's no questions I don't see that's um in the chat box there, or in the rather back to the classroom in the Sunshine Lounge. We're going to have a special treat for you all. So the last part of it that we're going to do is we are going to take a little break because we've been sitting here a while. And then I got a special guest. Mama Booker is going to come and do the DM, the after party. So you know when she always gives her own little words of wisdom, she's also going to be on here at the live. So that is a separate stream for that. The after party that's going to be from 4, and I just put the 4 to 5, but it might be a half an hour. We'll see with that, but she's going to come on here and she's going to add on and give her words of wisdom. So I thought that was a treat because she was really popping off and really in her own element. I was like, oh my God, you're channeling today. I think maybe you need to go ahead and be on here. And she's like, yeah. I said, yeah. So you need to come on here and help me out and put your words of wisdom onto this part here. So I was like, okay. So she's like, okay. So she's like, she's getting ready. I hope she, and I gave her the link too, so she'll be listening as well on that one. But I think right now, from everything that we have had a lot to be able to digest overall about that. And it's so interesting. I mean, none of us really had talked to each other at all, but I seen how everything just kind of really actually interconnected with each other as far as our themes. And it just seems like, again, for 2021, again, get ready. If I want to recap it again, is just to get rid of the labels. Again, I like what Sean, that hit me in my thing. If I recapped again, understanding again is the importance of soul family and connecting with those people who are aligning, who's going in the same direction as you. Again, April said about the ancestors and getting in touch with your body. As well, and clearing out some things. Somebody was scared to use their voice because, again, they had some resistance. So I would say with April, it would be saying be open to resistance as well, to change, because this 2021 is not going to come in. I know Patricia, I see her in the backstage, is not coming in the same way of what you know. You can't rely on old stuff, that old paradigms that you know too as well for that. And you heard also David saying, hey, you might even get to a point you might not know where you're going. And that's okay, because eventually source is going to bring you, or you just float around on the river and you might eventually find yourself going specifically to where you need to go. All right, then, without further ado, I'm going to bring in the lovely Patricia.
Hi Bertina.
How you doing for Twin Flame Body? Thank you so very much.
I'd be doing better in Hawaii, I think.
I think so too. I like that
right?
scene myself. I even deal with Florida, really, actually. I got jelly. I said, I can't go outside to show no scene like that.
Yeah. Road trip.
Road trip. Thank you. We'll put it right there on the bucket list, Patricia. You and I,
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Exactly.
going to turn it over to her. Okay, let me make sure I do this right because I've been kind of interested doing. I'm gonna remove.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Patricia McNeely from Twin Flames Merge, formerly Twin Flames Merge, because you've merged, or at least had a little merge, and Twin Flame Body, because I was guided a couple of years ago to not necessarily rebrand. It wasn't put to me about rebranding, but to really develop my material as to what a lot of this is all about, and that is your brand new body. And to maybe open this up a little bit, I want to share some of what I have in terms of how it played out for me with something so simple. I am not a poet. I'm a person who's really sort of a geek when it comes to biology, when it comes to astronomy, the stars, the cells, things like that. But love made me into a poet. And I'm going to use this as an opening to talk to you about the body and what it is. Okay. This is called the wish. Remember all those times you wished? You wished upon a star. You wished upon your birthday candles. You wished upon a fallen eyelash and blew it to the wind. You wished and threw a coin into the fountain. You wished upon a rainbow. You knelt and fervently prayed and wished. You wished your family were different. You wished you could give your kids the things they need. You wished your children would not have the sicknesses their grandparents had. You wished you could kick your addictions. You wished to just get well. You wished that harmony could happen. You wished to break the tedium. You wished for health. You wished for a second chance. You wished for abundance. You wished for fun and travel. You wished for someone to be into you for once. You wished for tenderness. You wished for someone to be with. You wished for passion. You wished that love beyond this earth was possible. You wished for true love. You wished for your lover. All this and more is in your heart and connected to who you really are. So that is what the twin flame body is. It is your connection. It's a complex of subtle bodies, just like parts of you have a complex. You have a circulatory system, but that is made up of veins and blood cells and connects with your lungs to oxygenate. And so your twin flame body is actually not really different than that. So you could say this is the smaller set of the body, which has key connection points, energy portals, which are called the chakras, that let you let energy in. But there's something else too. And this is actually brand new. This is part of what I teach people. It is to get some of your outputting channels open, which makes it easy to dissipate the day, easy to dissipate things that come up and keep you well and healthy and whole. So one of the things that is very misunderstood out there is, what is it? So I wrote a little ebook. It's on my website about what is the twin flame. It's your essence. It's an essential part of you. And the first part, it's sort of following a progression. If you really were to look back at this over a certain amount of time. So from 2010 to 2020, we've had about a 10-year grace period of dealing with our karmic stuff. Karma is simply an ancient word that actually means experience. So loosely translated, it means experience something. it's been repeated so much, the experiences have been repeated so much that it takes on a proportion where it feels like a comeuppance. It's somehow getting back at you. It's retaliatory. And we're here to get all of those patterns out, all of the relationship patterns. So much of my guidance is that the games and manipulations will stop. Sex won't stop, but the games and manipulations about it will. There is a way through the body to actually hold your energies in the upper high heart area. And there are sections to that also, because you also need to support the areas of your physical human body and feel well. Believe it or not, people who have an organ missing will still have a chakra connection for that organ. So that was part of my understanding when I wrote that wish poem, was that even if you wish, even if there's a part of you missing, even if you feel you're missing your other half, you're somehow in a mode of getting ready to make wishes come true. Wishes and dreams and a lot of things that have gone into this whole buildup, because we are going back up the way we came down. So if you fell down over here, or if you were in an abusive relationship, or if that's where you feel stuck, I'm having ways to get you up out of that. Part of the balance that people talk about is the balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine within them. Okay, because those are energetics. Those are not a man showing up. Those are not a woman showing up. Those are energetics that belong to you. We're also in a time now of what I would call all things return to the rightful owners. As returning to the rightful owners, you could make it as simple as that. Anything that you've lent out to someone to make something work, make a marriage work, make a relationship work, make a family work, make a job work, that part of your essence naturally wants to return to you. Your heart is the magnetic resonator. Your body, your higher body, is the big giant crystal that helps things to vibrate, helps your personal guidance work through you. And that's going to be really important, because there are collectives breaking up. Even as people reband or form together or form some other organization, there's a distinct splitting off of, little fractures where things just can't harmonize somehow. Now, that's not always negative. Sometimes it's healthy. And sometimes it's healthy to push off of things for a while. For a really long time, I was not doing readings per se for people, because it was apparent to me at some point people were simply disentangling from each other. And the threads of what they were trying to hang on to, those strings of connection, were simply slipping through their fingers no matter what they did. And my guidance was to move it to the metaphysical body, the chakras, the parts that actually do sustain you. So when we talk about what's sustainable, things that are not sustainable are relationships that your soul is no longer supporting, no matter what you try to do about it, no matter what, because it's sometimes very simple. And sometimes the head gets in the way, but when you are able to still your body, you're able to get into the mode where you can actually feel, hey, maybe that's a door closing and there's something much better over here. And I did a video regarding this called Stepping Stone Soulmates, where there are sometimes really, really kind people that help someone who has had really terrible experiences and helps them to stabilize. And they may not be the end all and be all, but they're for that season or for that time frame. Past lives are very important. I actually just finished a class that I did in past lives to help people access their own past lives and to continue, because It gives you the perspective. It gives you a total immersion with the pictures that speak 1,000 words to enable you to really see what's going on, like Bertina was saying. And there's something beyond that that you're actually capable of. And that is sometimes making a more favorable outcome for yourself. So what I am here to help people with is the integration of their brand new template of relationship from 5D. And what that means is, whatever old terms we use, whether we call it the matrix or patterns or biology, ancestry, hereditary, it's all part of that same thing. It's like having an old style type of skyscraper. Those old style skyscrapers that they started in the 1900s had a really strong steel frame, and you needed it to have different things on it. Otherwise, structurally, it just would collapse. Okay, very sturdy, very much designed for dense living in 3D or 4D. 3D is more like survival times, survival mode. As we continue ascending, we actually merit this brand new template, which is a blueprint. Now, to an extent, the new template actually is very similar. That levels the playing field for everyone. That's where there's no hierarchy. We are human angelics, and the angel part of you needs to thrive along with the human part. That is a big change for 2021, is that people are becoming aware of these other sides of themselves, regardless of what they call it. It exists. It's inside. We packed it inside, especially for this time. So there is an overall plan, and there is a personal plan for you. Part of your personal plan means unplugging and plugging in again. Easier said than done, because that's a process that can sometimes entail an entire cycle, like a season or something. It can take a moon cycle. One other thing that's extremely important for both men and women is the reproductive cycles. Women especially are noticing changes with their reproductive cycles regardless of where they're at. Younger women are feeling premenopausal. Older women are feeling younger or youthful or having a return of it, and all of the in between. And what does this mean for you? Well, it means you're leaving your tribal connections, your ancestral connections, whatever the women in your family experienced, and you're coming back to yourself. So in a lot of ways, it's as simple as, well, you're coming back to yourself, but how do you do it, and how long does it take? It can actually take a little bit of time, and other factors come into play. So that's another really big change for 2021. And I want to take a moment to say to please do not be upset with the medical community. The medical community is trained to be medical. They go to school a lot of years to be trained to be medical and to look for answers. If they do not find a physical answer, you can guarantee that it is metaphysical. But it's always good to check the physical side of you, because that's where things anchor to you. This is why the purging from inside the body can be so intense and abrupt and alarming. You may not be able to talk to it about it with everyone, because not everyone will go through what you go through right at that time. Sometimes you are a leader amongst the people in your immediate vicinity, such as your family or your circle of friends or something. You may be the one who's going through some stuff first. And that's not a wrong thing. It can be a very lonely or isolating thing. But the more that you're aware that this is a process, it is a process that's happening. There is a new template, which is, it's actually, the design of it is absolutely wonderful and beautiful because it's actually designed for you to communicate using your 5D connections with other people's spirits. Some things can be a conversation, or you can have the conversation after you have made certain other connections, mostly after you've cleared some things. So to give you a few examples of this, I have healed relationships with my own mom. I had a situation with my son being bullied quite a bit, which actually it all kind of came to a head, and it was making him feel suicidal. And I was able to gradually shift it so that a lot of the mental strings of connection were able to shift, and all of the children that were involved were actually able to simmer this down, because the kids doing it, essentially, they were not bad kids. They were good kids doing what kids do. But as we know, a lot of things in our lives have been hurtful. One of the things that people will find amazing about their new body is how resilient it is and how it does not want to hold things from the past, and how easily it is to actually deflect things as you move along. Now, there's some other things to know. Your body connections have been attached to a lot of people, and hence past lives, because it goes on throughout history. If you were to see it, it would look like little strings that eventually look like those telephone lines. Like when you see those commercials for, AT&T, and, they're connecting you all over. That's how it's been. You've not only been connected here, you have connections along your solar plexus that have connected you to other timelines, and that means other planets too. This is why some people will feel connections, sometimes through astrology study, of other places. And other people, it makes no sense whatsoever, because they either can't recall it or it's not relevant to them somehow. However, there may be a connection there, regardless of what a person recalls, remembers, dreams. And this is why I have developed my twin flame body modality, because it can easily be removed, moved, and shifted so that it actually eases out and doesn't force someone to re-see all of the worst stuff. Some stuff, perhaps, yes. Sometimes your soul is in charge of that, what you're capable of being able to view and see. How strong are you in your heart energy, that you're able to put it into the past and not allow it to distract you and hinder you somehow. Your soul doesn't want any more game playing with your mind, not with your spirit, not with your body, or your true heart, okay? We are expanding the heart, and the expansion of the heart is going to bring true friends to you, true connections, true enjoyment. That means joy. So one time when I was doing one of my classes, it occurred to me, how many people have really remembered the joy of just riding a bike or jumping rope? How when you were little and you could just go out on a sunny day and do this stuff. And this is some of the joy that is intended to return to you and be more of your normal than the pain or the discomfort and some of the other stuff that we all experience, all of us, including myself. The things you feel through your body are usually two things. It's things you receive. And what I usually tell people is make it basic, basic, basic. Is it good? Is it useful? Is it friendly? Is it part of you? In other words, how does it feel to you? And really get in touch with yourself and acknowledge, what do you feel? Does it feel okay? Does it feel friendly? I use this because of something my son did years ago. He was really into pirates and he was about 3 years old, and he was kind of working on his discernment about other people, learning facial expressions and things like that. And so he liked pirates. But when you see a pirate, you don't know if that's an angry pirate or a friendly pirate, like at a birthday party. So he would look at me and he'd say, "Mom, are they friendly?" And so that became the basis. Does it feel friendly? Does it feel light to you, lighthearted? It's for you. It's in your favor. And then the other things are, is it something you want to get rid of, discard? You don't want it. It's worn out. It's old. It's not fun anymore. It's boring you to death practically. And this is important because there's a lot being said out there about how hanging on, if you can't beat a dead horse into life, you cannot pick up a corpse that's dead and breathe fresh life into it. It's important to work on your own upliftment and to focus on yourself, self-love, self-care, because that is when the best things come. That is when your soul does come and your higher self to connect with you and really show you much more of what is this all about. Because there are levels to yourself. Just like you might know, you have, your daily life, and then you have your dream time. And some people really look forward to their dream time. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to have an action dream. Oh, I'm going to have a kissing dream." Okay. There is a thing to know about that too. And I wrote a book about it, about sleep, ascension in sleep, because your old sleep levels are changing. That too is connected to the body. And people that go through that, there's a really big reason. And this solstice is so important because this is where we are getting rid of a lot of our behaviors. A lot of these behaviors are just sort of a part of our biology. Like, I feel hungry, or the sun went down, or there's not enough sunlight. I feel drowsy. I think I'll hibernate now. Hibernation time, that is a big one, starting from minimum a week ago, and it's going to continue on for at least another week for a lot of people. The higher your vibration, the earlier on you will feel some of these portals and energies coming on for you. And there are ways to navigate that. So you're a surfer, and that's by using your light body. So I am a teacher of the light body, the new chakras, the subtle bodies that you have not been able to connect with, making things easier so that it's not a feeling like it's a chore, but actually a new life. And I have another poem that I want to share that has to do with some of this, called The Kiss. Okay. Now, I'll explain a little bit after this, but the kiss. There is a touch and a kiss you long for, that some part of you remembers. Only you, only you, only you, as you seek signs and clues along the way. Soulmates only tickle you. Your lover remembers and knows you well. Okay, I wrote that because when I was about 17, that's when my high level kissing dreams started, with someone who is always the same person, always, always, always. And it was always kissing, so close that our faces would almost melt into each other. There was a part of me inside that was absolutely knowing, like a deep knowing, that I had to find this person, that this existed. Now, it would be several more years later, almost 22 years later, before I ever heard words that would match the feelings. And when I did, it was like a bell went off inside me. It finally fell into place. Another puzzle piece fell into place. And I realized that as I looked back over this life, that this actually could be my last life of having to look and find. Okay. Now, I actually had been doing things unbeknownst to me, even though I knew. And that's one of the wildest things about this is sometimes you do know things inside, and yet you don't know it with your mind, but then you look back and you're kind of like, I think I knew what to do in that situation, or I think I knew this. That is your higher self that lives in you. That is the etheric body. That the etheric body is the twin flame. It's the love, and it's the exact match. But it is also attached to someone. So you have connections that you may not have tapped into, and amazing experiences that really are yours to experience. You're on the cusp of it now. This is what I call, this life is what I call a culmination life. But this is one of probably the only lives that you'll have where everything previous to a few years ago will feel like a past life at some point, whether it's marriage, whether it's just your life, and everything takes on a literal new dimension for you. Now, people that are aware of this, usually you've opened the door to it, and it will continue, even if you need a pause, even if there are things that make you a little bit afraid. I want to say this to you. Don't be afraid. There is a benevolent force that is love that emanates. And sometimes it totes you along. So some of this energy that we're having this weekend, it's a little bit like whitewater rafting. You're in the rapids. You have no control over it. You're not going to control it. Don't even try. Go to sleep. Trust it's going to get you to the next part of the river. Trust you're going to know when to pick up your oar and paddle. And when you pick up the oar, that's when you start doing some of the body work. That's when you start making changes in your life. That is when you start to maybe put the next plans out. Now, this new moon is also a new beginning. That means planting seeds for next spring. That's a big piece of this. So I know that it's really hard to tell, what should that be? And that's where your wishes come in. What do you wish? Okay. Do you wish health? Okay. Your soul is aware of what happens down here. Okay. That's one thing that I think as people come into their spiritual maturity and expansion, they become well aware that there is an awareness from a higher level about this. But we're the change makers. We're the ones that have to do the baby steps. Or, let's say it were a breakup. We're the ones that have to actually do the breakup. That might mean block the phone, change phone numbers, sign papers. Nobody else is going to come in and do it for you. Who's going to sign the divorce papers? Okay, that's going to be just one person. What about helping children? Helping children, this has been coming up a lot too, about people who have children. It means paying attention to the children almost from two levels, as an angelic parent and as a physical human parent with flaws, with a busy schedule, with responsibilities, with, other stuff. And how do you do it? Some of this goes on 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And yet it's not all drudgery. It's not all a chore. It's a part of the magic. And it's you returning to a magical form of yourself that nobody has ever touched. Feeling like nobody has ever touched you in your private areas. Feeling like nobody's really gotten deep into your heart except who? Okay. And not all the other dozens of people that have somehow been laying right over your emotional body. The emotional body is right over the heart. Okay. The heart is deep and has deep things. So there are several subtle bodies that overlap, and yet this is all part of you. It's not a separate part of you. It's you. And You are important. You are here because small things happen too. I wrote something about that. And that is this one of my, that I wrote. You are small. You are all things small. You are all things large. You are all things infinitesimal. You are from the infinity. Be all things great and small. You can, because you are magnificent. So thank you.
You know, it takes me a while. I feel like I'm running from the back room to come up to the front to say, hey,
Oh.
to find
Yeah.
out technology. While we have some minutes, just a little bit left over, was there anyone that had any questions for Patricia as well? Kelly says, I write too. She said, she write too, and she loves all of this. That's wonderful, beautiful. Is there
Thank you.
any questions about that, about the body? And she's mentioned about the different, what are some of the, I sometimes they channel through me because they act like they're scared, but what are some of the what are the subtle bodies? What are those? You mentioned that for some of us it's like level 1 on this twin flame journey here. So what are subtle bodies? You say it was several of them.
Yeah, this the subtle bodies. Okay, for example, one that we're all familiar with is the ego. So okay. What I came to understand is the ego is what I would call like that subtle body for when we're flying solo. Like we're just ourselves. It's just we haven't awakened yet. We don't know that there's anyone else we're connected to. We're not aware of our soul and stuff like that. Okay. Ego looks out for us, warns us, you know, like sends those signals of like danger, or here comes Uncle Joe. He's going to be, you know, frisky again, like steer clear, things like that. Okay. That's one of our subtle bodies. But the other ones are the spirit, which affects people with spiritual disease like drinking, drugging, sometimes certain types of abuse, like people who are dispirited, okay. You know, like, and then the causal body is the one that helps us to manifest. And there's 3 levels to it, because there's a level for this physical life. There's a level that we have in 5D for that life. Okay. And then there's what I call the universal level. Universal is the parts of our lives that are universal to all of us, like having a family. So it might help us, let's say, create a situation for our kids. That's the part of it that helps with that. The psyche subtle body, I think, is probably the most understood. And I was put through my paces pretty much like in really deep ways from my soul, because it can be responsible for how people feel patriotism, for example. Like they really love their country, they die for their country. They will leave family and friends and lovers to go to, you know, off to do something. And it causes really deep psyche wounds as the result. The psyche is also attached to vital parts of us and our limbs. And this is why people will feel phantom sensations if they've had a surgery or an amputation, like breast cancer. You lose the breast, and sometimes people feel that grief. They've literally lost a part of themselves so close to the heart. Okay. And the psyche, though, is responsible for our deepest passion, too. So if you figure all those wounds are in there and you take them out, that's when a person can really feel the highest passion, the highest and deepest passion. Okay. That's one of my things that I would love to help people to do, is really feel the poignancy of a lot of this, like the poignant love, not just like those like what they call like stolen moments, like where it's just so intimate. And someone was talking about music messages. Yes. Those travel from heart through the etheric body. They travel through the etheric body connection. And
Oh,
sometimes they come from your 5D self.
right.
So like, yeah, so when it's like almost like a radio playing in there, pay attention to the lyrics, because sometimes it can be an entire song, but there's one significant part. It can let you know what's happening on the other side. Like a song I know you know this song, I'll keep working my way back to you, babe, with
Yeah,
burning love inside, kept playing all night long
yes.
yesterday.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, with me, it was last week. It's a small world after all. They kept on. I felt like I was on the ride. I was like, "Can you please get me off of this daggone thing?" I said that one can be a little spooky. I don't know why you choose this over this tune over.
yeah.
So I know. I was like, okay, now what this mean? But I found out what it was about the small, and it was a small world.
Yeah, and you know, I thought it happened to everyone until one day I get a call from a lady, and she called me and she said, without any preamble, she goes, "How's he doing that?" And I knew who she meant, but I was like, "How's who doing what?" She
Mhm.
says, "How's he manipulating the speakers at the Walgreens, at the pharmacy?" And I said, "Are you getting music messages?" She goes, "Yeah, but how's he doing?" I said, "Listen, those are heart messages. Pay attention to the lyrics, you know, like, but it didn't occur to me it would make someone nervous, you
Yeah.
know?" So I
Yes.
always like to bring it up because some people are coming out of situations where they really feel like, you know, who's getting at them now instead of who's trying to, you know, reach for them and hold them, you know, and nurture them and love them again,
Right. And let
even
me
if it's not a who.
right, true. And let me add this tidbit. And it doesn't stop with you and your twin even after death, because even my dad sends my mom messages. He would send her somewhere over the rainbow, or I'm sorry, some of what was it, Smokey Robinson's, ooh, baby, 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 or something. I'm sorry. And so it doesn't stop. So it's still that heart connection, regardless. In the meat suit, as Kathy D say, out the meat suit. If they want to send it to you, it's going to keep on flowing to
Yeah.
you.
So I've found the more that I've worked on my subtle bodies and helped people with that they feel the etheric touch, they feel it more frequently. Like sometimes it happens at least once and it'll feel random, but then it actually increases and becomes more normal. I mean, we're heading into a new normal where some of this stuff is just normal.
Right, right. That is true.
Yeah.
That's true. A part of me want to ask, but I don't want to end on a difficult note. But I kind of semi want to know what's your take. Somebody had asked earlier about, and Sean had his take on it too. What if you're feeling your divine counterpart is penetrating you, or you actually feel yourself having sex with them?
Now,
What?
I have a segment called I have a segment in my book called Clear Your Sexual Energy,
Okay.
which actually now interestingly we did talk about some of this in the workshop the three of you attended.
Right.
So it's like this basic, like let's say, you know, you each have given each other latitude to be with other people, because in all honesty, if we have past lives, then we've had past lives with hundreds of people, honestly. Not just one person that someone's messing with.
Mm-hmm.
So your essence is there. How do you get it back to you? How do you get it back to your body? How do you stop feeling that? Because you don't want to feel pain. And how do you alleviate it? So it does take a process of clearing. It can take up to 3 months.
Oh,
So
wow.
when I coach people, no, they're not you know, what they have to do is they have to do something consistently for up to 3 months to diminish the effects and get the energetics properly where they need to be at the high heart.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's not just ordering it out. I mean, you can order it out all you want, unless you clear that area. It's not going to, it takes a lot longer. I mean, it could take up to 2 years.
wow. Okay. All right. This
And
is here. So we can do so much about sending it back, but you're going to have to go see the professional, Patricia McNeely,
oh,
to clear it out. Yes. What you want to say, Patricia? You seem like you want to say something. No.
Oh, no, I didn't know if there was another question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, because nobody's saying it in the feed thing. So I think they're pretty much at a standstill or stop there. So thank you so very much for coming and giving your own perspective. I love how you even wrapped up everybody's thing of what we talked about, each one of us, and you pretty much told us about the aspect of the body, what's going to happen in 2021, what's going to happening with us with all these energies. So that really answered a lot of things. I was amen and all in the sunshine line.
Thank you.
Like, yes, and yes, and yes. So thank you so very much for taking time out to share your things again. For you to go again to Twin Flames is what's your email again? I should
Twin Flame Body.
Twin Flame. Okay, hold
Body.com.
on. Okay, Twin. I want to
It's
make
on my name, I think.
Body.com. Okay, let me do that. Add as a banner. Did I put it right? Okay, that says show. Sorry. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful, because I like to have that in case somebody got the sound down. And like, what? So if you want some good stuff from Patricia and get a session with her, I've had several of them. It's moved a lot of energy with myself, with the twin, all together like that. So she's dynamic. So again, if you want to know a little bit more about what's happening, get into one of her classes. She's takes you from the beginning to understanding who you are. Again, back to what I'm saying about your angelic or angel or whatever places that you said, say, I feel like I came from Atlantis. Okay, she can answer that too and tell you what part of a person that you are as well. So make sure you go to Twin Flame Body too as well and get that information. So thank you so very much again for taking time out to be here as well.
Yeah. Could I add one more thing?
Yes, you can.
About my course. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So part of my divine guidance was to create a course for practitioners, in part because this is there's many more people going to be awakened, and it will come up, and a lot of systems are overloaded. So like one of my surprising things was how people would go to the emergency room. Like I've had people literally rack up $6,000 emergency room bills for things that were ascension related. You know, so part of the other part is to kind of get the word out about the body and how we can kind of simmer some of that down so it's not overloading everyone's pocketbooks. It's not overloading the systems. The police don't get involved, because sometimes that happens too. You know, someone is having a breakdown and somebody calls the police because they don't know what to do about it. So, yeah, it's if you're interested in helping people and learning about the new 5D body template and chakras, opening it up, let me know. Or just let me know. Check it out.
Okay, right. Thank you. Yes. So most definitely make sure that you check her out. Thank you again.
Thank you, Bertina.
We've been trying to get this together for the longest. Wow. I love it. And I was like, finally, April was like, yay! I was like, got it. Yeah. So thank you so very much. All right, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Okay. All right, as we wrap up and we get ready, give me a couple of seconds to get Mom together. We remember the after party is on another link. Go back to your email that I sent you, the last one, and it has the link for the after party right there. So I'm going to close this out, because in case you all you tell friends, and they tell two friends, and so on about this great stuff that we had did there. Always make sure you click like and share, subscribe to this channel about the good things that we have here. April has already talked about. We're gonna make this an annual, so this is the first annual. We're gonna put that out here, 12/12 event that we're having here. So we'll be doing more things, events, and giving this information out, and asking more friends to come to the playground as well with us. And so just make sure that I am going to have this to you is free. This link will always be open to you. So you can come back and you can see about this video. I'm not going to take this down. I'm going to separate it because I want the DM thing. That's more of us together. If I feel that what we do on the DM and whatever wisdom that comes from Mama Booker that needs to be shared, I will take that and then I will share it to, they're going to have to pay for it though. I will share that. I'm not going to have that open. They got to share it and get it for divineunisouls11.co. So I want to do it in two separate. So this is just more so about making sure you're getting ready and prepared for 2021. If you got other twin flames or divine as well that's on a journey that wants to create that shift, because I think a lot of the information that we talked about today is not just for twin flames. This could be across the board too, as well, if they want to make this divine and become the ultimate person or human being that they can. You can share this to them and it'll be on sale at in the store. divineunisouls11.co. Haven't been told what it would be specifically, but we will definitely do that. So thank you so very much to all of you all that had went on, and I will shift and see you all in the after party. If not, thank you so very much for being with us as well. I want to thank again David. I want to thank Sean. I want to thank Bonita. I want to thank Patricia. And of course, I want to thank my soul sisters. I'm going to snatch them up. I'm going to snatch Kathy D. She my sister too. I was there, Kathy D. and April Williams as well. For their always, when I say let's do this, they like, okay, let's do it. And they might look like deer in the headlights, but they like, okay, let's do that. So thank you so very much. I'll see you at the after party. Mwah! Love you. Mwah! Oh, as always, ooh, let me stop. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay elevated. Namaste, namago. Love you. All right, see you on the other side. I'm at the other side, Kathy. All right.